here I am. I'm wearing my spider dress because it is spooky. It is spooky. It is spooky Sunday. That's what I was looking for. The day is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday, and that's bad. Monday is a bad day. Well, I think we'll watch some ghost stories, some legends, do that type of thing. Hey, Ricochet. And then, or should we start off with the New York Times games like usual? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe we can do New York Times games actually, and then do spooky stuff, and then do some news stuff, and then do some horsies. I don't know. That sounds wrong. Let's do some horsies. That sounds a bit wrong. Sounds a bit dodgy. But yeah, I decided to stream earlier and maybe do a longer stream if I don't get tired. We'll see how we go. I streamed for 5 hours yesterday. They're horse girls? They are. And they're not centaurs either. They have like, they're bipedal for some reason. I guess that makes them hotter for like the weird weebs that are into that stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of weirdos out there in the world, I feel. So what do you reckon? Should we do our usual format or should we get straight into the spookies? The spooky and the kooky. The Addams Family. Oh, I watched Wednesday the other day. Well, it was supposed to come out on Wednesday, but it came out Thursday Australian time. And yeah, they release it like 4 episodes at a time and there's only 8 episodes. I don't know. It's not that it's terrible. It's just, you know, it's not great. I like the black and white Addams Family. And I didn't mind the one with Christina Ricci. I think that's how you say her name. You're trying to play RuneScape? Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm a good thing to have in the background. Just a weird little chick talking in the background. That's basically what dating me is like, just having me yammering in the background nonstop while you ignore me. That's that's the Pandora experience, I think. Well, I got some tea. You totally forgot about Wednesday? Yeah, I really enjoyed the Addams Family when I was a kid. They were always like I don't know when the original TV series was, but like the black and white one, they were always showing like reruns of it in like the 2000s and stuff on TV. So I used to watch it when I was a kid. Really liked it. You think most Twitch is second screen audio for a lot of people? Yeah. It is nice to listen to stuff in the background while you're doing other stuff. Let's go review time. Review Wednesday. I don't know. I think modern TV and modern movies have really lost their soul for me. They're not really as engaging as they used to be. I don't know if I changed or if it's the children who are wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I don't typically watch a lot of modern TV stuff. If I do watch contemporary TV shows, they're typically Korean. I really like K-dramas. And no, not Squid Games. I haven't seen Squid Games. But I like Hotel de Luna's really, really good. I like stuff like that. I like the supernatural like Korean drama that goes into like the Korean folklore and stuff. The Addams were cool. Yeah, that was a cool show, Bailey. I liked it. I enjoyed that iteration of the Addams Family. It's not that Wednesday's a bad show, it's just and also like the way that it's spaced out, you can barely remember what happened last season because it takes so long for seasons to come out. I do enjoy the aesthetic of the show though. I think it was filmed in Ireland this time around, and last time it was filmed in Romania, I think it was filmed in like County Wicklow in Ireland. It looked really pretty. It was really pretty. Like it was aesthetically nice. They had like an asylum setting And I can't think of his name, but he's the guy from Portlandia. He's the guy from Portlandia, and he not the Sleater and Kinney girl, obviously, the dude that did it with her. Whoever the guy in Portlandia he plays Uncle Fester, and I really liked him. I really enjoyed him in the role. He was really fun. And I really enjoyed the portrayal of Uncle Fester. But that was about the only thing I enjoyed. Fred Armisen, yeah, I think he's like half Korean, right? He's cool. I really like him a lot. I really enjoyed him in Parks and Recreation too, where he played like the Venezuelan like diplomat. That was really funny. But yeah, I don't really watch a lot of I kind of stopped watching new movies and stuff like that in 2010. I don't really know a lot of stuff that's come out since then, to be perfectly honest. The Korean zombie show was fire. Which Korean zombie show? Like, was it Kingdom? Was it like the Train to Busan? I think The Last Train to Busan was a zombie movie as well. There's quite a lot of them. I think Kingdom is one that was like set in ancient Korea, so like the Choson, early Choson period, I think. I haven't actually seen it, to be honest. The last zombie movie that I watched was like 28 Days Later with Cillian Murphy in it. And he had a nice bum. That's all I remember. Fred was in Canada and did a comedy show. Oh, did you go? Did you watch it? Bah. Kingdom was a show then? Yeah, you think it is? Yeah. Kingdom is one that a lot of people really enjoy, and that's about zombies. I haven't watched it yet. It's not that I'm scared of zombies. It's just, you know, I need to be in a certain headspace because sometimes I can't like deal with jump scares and things like that. I just find it a bit much. All right, well, let's watch a video about the 10 most haunted places in South Korea. Seeing as though we're on the Korean track of thought, I reckon that might be interesting. Whoop. Ooh. All right. What music do I like? My favorite band for most of my life has been the Smashing Pumpkins. But I listen to a lot of music, but primarily I like shoegazy type music. So music with like a lot of effect pedals. Most of my close friends are metalheads, so I was surrounded by a lot of that growing up. But yeah, I don't really like have anything that I don't like, I guess. Like, I'll listen to anything, really. Sean Penn made a zombie movie, Shaun of the Dead. Oh, yeah, I know of that movie. The last thing I saw with Sean Penn, I think, was Mystic River. whatever year that came out. Probably a while ago. But yeah, lately I've been listening to a lot of music from the early 2000s. So I've been listening to a lot of Deftones, Smashing Pumpkins, At the Drive-In, like stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I've also been listening to a lot of Black Sabbath lately, and I've been watching old episodes of the Osbournes on on YouTube, because they've got a lot of the full episodes of the Osbournes, and I don't know, it's just really sad. Feels so sad to lose Ozzy. It's just, I don't know. He's such a sweet man. Like, even though he like would bite the head off doves and bats and stuff on stage, there's still just something so sweet and wholesome about that man. I don't know. I like watching him with his family. It's super cute. It's adorable. Hey, Delta. Good to see you.
South Korea is known for its vibrant cities, rich history, and stunning landscapes. But lurking in the shadows are chilling secrets that few dare to uncover. From abandoned asylums to eerie mountain trails, these places are filled with ghostly whispers, restless spirits, and terrifying legends. Join us as we explore the 10 most haunted places in South Korea, where the supernatural is more than just a myth. It's a terrifying reality. 1.
Oh, just before we get into the scary places in Korea, on Netflix, it's a Netflix original, so it'll be on there. I just want to recommend a show. To everybody. I hope you guys watch subbed and not dubbed. People that watch dubbed are weirdos. Always do subtitles so you don't like miss any context. But this show is amazing. I'll just put this on full screen so you can see it. A Gyeongsong creature. It's well, the first season is set in Japanese occupied Korea. And it's kind of like it's kind of a little bit like Frankenstein-esque. It's like the Japanese experimenting on Koreans in like a hospital in the 1940s, and it's like very, you know, the Korean independence movement fighting against the Japanese. It's kind of set in that backdrop. And then the second season skips forward to modern day Seoul. But it's so good. So yeah, I recommend this show very, very strongly. And it has my girl, Han Soi, in it. I love this woman. She is so stunning. Oh my goodness, I love her. She's like the bad girl of like K-dramas because she's got tattoos and she smokes and she doesn't like really give a shit about like Korean societal norms, and she's just gorgeous. I love her. She's yeah, she's I think she's like stunningly beautiful. I love her. Anyway, we'll go back to the video just as an aside.
Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital, Gwangju. Hidden. Deep within the forests of Gwangju, Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital stands as a decaying monument to terror. Once an active mental institution, the hospital abruptly shut down in the 1990s under mysterious circumstances. Rumors swirl about the real reason for its closure. Some claim it was due to inhumane experiments on patients, while others speak of a deranged doctor who vanished without a trace. The abandoned halls are now littered with rusting hospital beds, scattered patient files, and eerie graffiti left by thrill seekers. Those who dare to enter report unsettling whispers echoing through the corridors, unseen hands tugging at their clothing, and sudden, inexplicable cold spots. Shadowy figures have been spotted lurking in doorways, their eyes seemingly following intruders as they navigate the decrepit remains. Perhaps the most terrifying legend of Gonjiam is the so-called Room 502, a sealed-off chamber that no one has successfully entered. Some say the door refuses to budge, while others claim those who tried to force their way inside suffered from hallucinations, violent nausea, or even disappeared. Whether the hauntings stem from the tormented spirits of former patients or...
Psychiatric hospitals always have very, very, very dark energy, right? Because especially like the really archaic way that we used to treat mental illness, I think Like, I really believe that, you know, we all have souls, and, you know, they can be tortured and twisted. And, yeah, it's just, yeah, that's why I just stay away from places like that. Like, the only abandoned places that I'll go into are abandoned churches. I always find them really peaceful. I always find abandoned churches super peaceful. Although there's a church in the town where I live, and someone turned it into a hairdresser, and they have all these like really blasphemous signs on the fence, like making jokes about Christianity. And I wanted to rip them I wanted to rip them down. I was like, that's so disrespectful. Like, that's so disrespectful, because I get like there's not that many Christians in Australia anymore, but like I don't know. Look, like, don't disrespect people's religion, and don't disrespect people's relationship with God. It's not funny, and you're not edgy. You're just a dickhead. You're just kind of an asshole. So that's how I feel. But yeah, psychiatric hospitals are terrifying. And like, even our vernacular, when we want to say like the modern English vernacular, when we want to say that convey that something is chaotic, right? We say, oh, this is Bedlam. And Bedlam was a psychiatric hospital in, like, you know, Dickensian London, like during the Victorian era. You know, the criminally insane and, you know, the super insane people were sent to the Bedlam Psychiatric Hospital. And that's still, you know, something that we use to describe an unruly, out of control situation, right? We say, oh, that was pure Bedlam. And it's really, really interesting that yeah, that survived, you know, well into the 21st century. You were in a mental hospital for 3 months. You don't think it was a psych ward? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time those terms are kind of used interchangeably. I think it's sort of, some hospitals are specifically for mental health issues, and then like a lot of hospitals, especially public hospitals in Australia, will have a ward that's sort of segregated from the rest of the hospital, and that's where the psychiatric patients are essentially sort of sequestered, and depending on the severity of the psychiatric condition and how well it's stabilized, then they'll even segregate those patients, right? Like, say if someone's like acutely psychotic, they're not going to have them with the rest of the patients that are perhaps, you know, more stabilized typically. But definitely old facilities like this, yeah, the energy there is dark. Yeah, I'm in Australia. We are in Australia.
Something even darker. One thing is certain. Ganjiam Psychiatric Hospital is a place few dare to visit after nightfall. 2. Jeju Island's Haunted Cave.
Oh, Jeju-do.
Beneath the breathtaking landscapes of Jeju Island lies Manjangul Cave, a vast and ancient lava tube stretching over 7 kilometers. While it is a geological marvel and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, locals whisper of a more sinister side to this underground labyrinth. According to legend, Manjangul Cave was once a sacred site where shamans performed rituals to appease spirits trapped in the darkness. Some say that during these ceremonies, offerings were made to ward off vengeful ghosts lurking in the cave.
The indigenous religion of Korea is so interesting. There's a movie called Exuma that I haven't seen yet. I think it's like an American Korean co-production, but I haven't found a place to like watch it for free yet. But in the film they used like real Korean like shamanistic rites, and apparently a lot of like weird stuff happened on set. The creepiest place you've ever been to was Morthausen? I'm probably saying that wrong. Who was attempting Kundalini? Oh, your girlfriend. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people mess with, like, Eastern spirituality and they have no idea what they're doing. Oh, it's Nazi death camp. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's obviously going to have a bad energy. Oh, wow. Sounds like you lived in a really haunted house, Bailey. There were some convict ghosts around. I used to live near the second place that was settled by Europeans in Australia. So first of all, they settled Sydney Cove, and then they went up the Parramatta River to a place called Parramatta. And so all the stuff around there is, you know, really old as, you know, you can get in Australia, besides like Indigenous culture. And there's definitely a lot of haunted stuff around there. Like I definitely saw some things when I was a kid. But I do wonder now that as I'm getting older, how much of supernatural experiences that I thought I had as a kid were sort of like sleep paralysis and like, you know, not waking up properly and having hallucinations and things like that. Because as I've gotten older, I've, you know, been able to rationalize these things. And when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, that's a ghost.
Cave's depths. Over time, the echoes of those rituals faded, but the spirits remained, restless and watching. Visitors have reported an unsettling feeling of being followed while exploring the dimly lit tunnels. Some have claimed to hear whispers bouncing off the cave walls, while others describe the sensation of cold, invisible hands brushing against them. In certain sections, footsteps echo despite no one else being nearby. The deeper one ventures, the heavier the air feels, as though unseen forces are warning trespassers to turn back. Though Manjangul Cave attracts thousands of tourists, only the bravest dare to acknowledge the spirits that may still dwell in its eternal darkness. Would you risk stepping into its haunted depths? 3. Neilbaum Garden, Seoul. Neilbaum Garden may be famous for its delicious traditional Korean cuisine, but it is equally notorious for the lingering spirits that refuse to leave.
Oh.
Located in Seoul, this charming restaurant was built on the grounds of a former hospital, one that witnessed countless tragedies during the Korean War. While time has erased much of its history, the souls of those who suffered there seem to remain. Diners have reported chilling encounters while enjoying their meals. Some claim to have seen ghostly figures of soldiers, their hollow eyes filled with sorrow, lingering in the dimly lit corners of the restaurant. Others speak of shadowy nurses walking the hallways, seemingly tending to unseen patients.
Oh, that's
Sudden
spooky.
Cold drafts sweep through the dining area, even on warm nights, and many patrons describe the sensation of unseen eyes.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to enjoy my tteokbokki in that restaurant. Definitely not going to be able to enjoy my delicious Korean food. Yeah, children are supposed to be incredibly spiritually sensitive, and you always see babies like looking at blank walls. The same with cats. You always see cats and small children like just staring and smiling, and you're like, what are you looking at? I think especially with cats, because they can see beyond, they can see way more of the light spectrum than we can, so they can definitely see things that we can't. Like, we know that they can see way more of the spectrum. So hello, Max Dragon, I like your name. It's that's a nice name. But yeah, I would definitely not be eating at this restaurant. Hey, Dango, good to see you.
Watching them as they eat. One of the most disturbing tales comes from a former staff member who swore they saw a ghostly hand reach out from the kitchen doorway.
Nope, I would have left. I would have run. I would have
Despite its
dined and
eerie
dashed.
reputation,
No.
Melbaum Garden continues to attract both food lovers and ghost hunters, offering a dining experience that is both flavorful and fearsome. Would you dare to eat here,
No,
knowing
I
you might
wouldn't.
not be dining alone?
No.
4. Yongma Land, Seoul. Once a place filled with laughter and joy, Yongma Land now stands frozen in time, a decaying relic of childhood memories tainted by ghostly whispers. Opened in the 1980s, this amusement park in Seoul.
Haunted theme park. Can you think of anything more scary than a haunted theme park? I think I would just stick to Lotte World.
Was forced to close due to financial troubles and dwindling visitors. However, some believe it shut down for a more sinister reason. Urban legends speak of a tragic accident involving a child who lost their life on one of the rides. Since then, eerie reports have surfaced, phantom laughter echoing through the empty grounds, the rusted carousel creaking as if unseen hands are setting it in motion, and the flickering of long-dead lights when no one is around. Many visitors claim to feel an overwhelming sense of sadness and nostalgia, as if the park itself mourns its forgotten past. Photographers and urban explorers still venture into Yongma Land, lured by its eerie charm, but some leave with more than just pictures. They speak of shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their frames and an invisible presence following them as they wander through the crumbling attractions. Yongma Land may be abandoned, but it is far from empty. 5. Gyeonggi English Village, Paju. What was once a lively educational hub now stands eerily silent. Gyeonggi English.
I'm not scared of the spirits around us leading, but I am definitely respectful of the dead. I believe in respecting the dead, respecting people's religious practices. I just don't mess with that stuff. It's just just don't. I just yeah. I try and be respectful of everything. You would be afraid depending on the experience. Well, yeah, there's definitely some things that you can't help but be afraid of. I should search sorry, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Sarehat Bridge Suicide Stories. We'll look at that later. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll look at that later, after this.
Village in Paju was built to immerse students in an English-speaking environment.
Oh, you're from New Orleans? Oh, New Orleans has some insane lore. Is it like the Casket Sisters or something that they have like this legend that a bunch of like women came to New Orleans in coffins? And then you've got like all the hoodoo and voodoo and yeah, New Orleans has an insane like occult underbelly for sure. I didn't really get a chance to look at all of that when I was in Louisiana, because I was only there for like a day, but I kind of walked around the French Quarter, but a lot of that stuff, like you have to book tours and do all of that. But Max Dragon is in Japan. Oh, what prefecture in Japan are you in? I'm going to Japan next year. I'm going to Japan and Korea and Taiwan next year, hopefully. Did I see the graveyard? Yeah, I saw the graveyard. The graveyard is stunning. It's an absolutely beautiful graveyard. I love graveyards, but again, like I'm very, very respectful when I go to graveyards. Like I'm always like very respectful not to tread on any graves and to like be very, very careful. But I love reading old tombstones and like, the names of the people and, kind of like, I don't know, it is kind of beautiful to see all these generations of families and stuff like that, and they're all buried together. I think that's really, really beautiful. You're in Tokyo? Okay, cool. I guess most people are in Tokyo. My high school had a sister high school in Japan. I just double check where it is. Oh, actually, I'll dox myself if I do that. If I say what high school my high school had a sister school with, then I'll dox myself. But it's not far from Kyoto. I will say. I'll say that. I don't think that's doxing myself too bad. But there's a lot of like Japanese and Australian like exchange programs and sister cities and stuff like that. I think because it's the same time zone and it's not that like there's only an hour's time difference, and it's your school had one with Japan? Yeah, it's cool because you get to have like you get to have a lot of Japanese exchange students at school, and it's really cool. I still talk to a few people that came over to my high school, so that's cool. Or I wouldn't go to the Forbidden Forest. I would not go there. We were talking about that yesterday, and about what a dickhead Logan Paul is when he found that dead body. Like, that is disrespectful. That is so disrespectful of the dead. It doesn't seem to have affected his life though. Isn't he a billionaire now? Yeah, don't go there, Max. Definitely don't go there. There was a girl buried up a hill, and a hard rain sent her coffin sliding down onto the main street. Oh my goodness, that would be terrifying for everyone involved. That would be terrifying.
Complete with Western-style architecture and bustling classrooms. However, after financial struggles forced its closure, the once thriving village became a ghost town, both literally and figuratively. As nature reclaims the deserted buildings, chilling stories of hauntings have emerged. Former students and visitors report hearing phantom footsteps pacing the empty halls, as if lessons were still in session. Others describe disembodied voices echoing through the classrooms, murmuring in a mix of Korean and English.
Oh.
The most unsettling encounters involve shadowy figures dressed in old-fashioned school uniforms, appearing only to vanish into thin air. Many who explore the abandoned dormitories claim to feel unseen eyes watching them, their every movement followed by an inexplicable cold presence. Some say the spirits are remnants of students who once walked these halls, refusing to let go of their past. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, the haunting atmosphere of Gyeonggi English Village makes it a place where silence speaks louder than words. 6. Imjinggak Peace Park, Paju. Standing on the edge of the Korean demilitarized zone, Imjinggak Peace Park is a place of remembrance and sorrow. Built to honor those separated from their families in North Korea, the park is a symbol of hope, but also of lingering grief. The weight of history is palpable, and for some, the echoes of the past are more than just memories. Visitors have reported ghostly apparitions wandering the park, dressed in old military uniforms, their faces etched with sadness. Some claim to hear
battlegrounds are always like really, really, really creepy. Like, even if you don't believe in ghosts, like you can still feel like that dark energy. Like, you know, there's been a great loss of life here. Like, I've been to like Flanders Field, I've been to Anzac Cove, where the Gallipoli campaign was fought in Turkey. I've been to like a lot of sites where you know there's been mass casualties, and yeah, you can definitely feel the eeriness. I know that Gettysburg in America is supposed to be a lot of people, most people that go there say like you can definitely feel, you know, the heaviness in the air, like that loss of life. So yeah, it is it is spooky, but I think it's nice that, you know, we build memorials to honor the dead, and we even as a modern society kind of recognize that sacredness and to respect that loss of life.
Hear whispers in the wind, faint cries of loved ones never reunited. The bridge of freedom, where countless people once crossed in desperate bids for escape, is said to be particularly haunted. At night, eerie shadows appear on the bridge, only to vanish when approached. The sorrow embedded in Imjingak Peace Park seems to transcend time. Some believe the spirits of soldiers and refugees still linger, unable to find peace. Whether it's the whispers carried by the wind or the unsettling feeling of being watched, Imjingak remains a place where history's ghosts refuse to be forgotten. 7. Seoul National University's main library, Seoul. Seoul National University's main library is a cornerstone of academic excellence, attracting students from all over the world. It is a place where knowledge thrives, but beneath its scholarly atmosphere lies a chilling secret. The library, with its towering shelves and vast labyrinth of books, has a long-standing reputation for being haunted by the spirits of scholars past. Students who remain in the library late into the night often report eerie occurrences. One common experience is the inexplicable rustling of pages in the silence, as if someone were reading a book that was long forgotten. When students turn around, there is no one there. Others have claimed to see apparitions of old scholars, their figures flickering at the periphery of vision, standing silently between the stacks of books, seemingly lost in thought. These spectral figures are often described as wearing old-fashioned academic robes, their faces indistinct and shadowy, as though they are mere reflections of...
I think a lot of the time when you're in a place that's super quiet, like a library, your mind can kind of, you know, run away with you. I think it's really interesting that those are the types of places where people always have spooky experiences, right? I think, well, I hope a lot of the times when people think they're having ghostly experience, they're actually not, because that's terrifying to think about. Just reading chat. Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts would be insane. What do I know about Salem, Massachusetts? I don't know. I read the Arthur Miller play. It's a playwright, The Crucible. I don't even remember in high school. I read The Crucible in high school. That's about what I remember. And yeah. The Salem Witch Trials. Oh, there was a show called Salem. A few years ago, and Marilyn Manson did the theme song. It like followed like I guess a fictionalized version of Mary Sibley, and it followed her and Tituba, and you know all the ladies were out in the woods doing witchcraft and putting curses on their husbands. And yeah, it had Cupid Carries a Gun by Marilyn Manson as the theme song. I don't know. I think that came out in like I want to say like maybe 2013, around about that time. But yeah, I watched that. That was good. That was called Salem. It was a decent show.
Past lives. The library's secluded corners and dimly lit halls seem to hold the weight of centuries of knowledge, and with it, the lingering spirits of those who dedicated their lives to the pursuit of learning. Some even believe that the library is haunted by former professors who passed away in the building, never quite leaving the institution they loved. The unsettling feeling of being watched is ever present, especially in the quieter hours of the evening. As you wander through the library's vast, silent halls, you might experience that cold shiver up your...
Yeah, I love black cats misleading. I really like black cats. I have a black cat sleeping on my bed at the moment. Her name is Nori. I have a massive soft spot for black cats. I just love cats in general, but I think black cats are so cool. I really like them.
Your spine, as though the spirits of scholars past are still silently observing your every move, waiting to share their wisdom, or perhaps to remind you that they are still there, forever bound to the place they once called home. This haunting blend of academia and the supernatural makes the main library at Seoul National University a unique and chilling location for those brave enough to study into the night. 8. Jangsan Mountain, Busan. Jangsan Mountain, located in Busan, is a popular destination for hikers, offering stunning panoramic views and tranquil trails. However, there is an eerie side to this beautiful mountain that few are aware of. Hikers who venture deep into its wooded paths often speak of a strange and unsettling encounter, an apparition of a woman dressed in white. According to local legend, this ghostly woman is the spirit of a woman who met a tragic end on the mountain many years ago. The story goes that the woman was once a local who wandered into the forest and never returned. Her body was later found at the foot of the mountain, and ever since, her restless spirit has been said to haunt the area. She is often seen on foggy mornings or during the late evening hours, silently wandering through the trees, her white dress billowing in the wind. Hikers who have come...
Why are scary ladies always wearing white and they always have long dark hair? It's it's definitely the trope. They all seem to have that.
Across her, report a sense of dread, as though the air around them grows colder and heavier. Some claim the ghostly woman beckons them further into the forest with a mysterious gesture, only to vanish before...
Was I talking about this yesterday? Yeah, I was talking about this yesterday, but the woman wearing a white dress with the really dark, long hair that I was talking about is one that I used to see in the Blue Mountains when I was a teenager, whenever I was hiking by myself, because I used to go like bush bashing most weekends. I would just, be off trail, hiking, exploring, doing all of that. And I would always see a girl, maybe like 11 or 12, in a white dress with long black hair. And, like a typical Australian, not wearing any shoes, just going, no, not like the ring. She was, she wasn't wet and her hair wasn't over her face. But I talked to a few people about it, and a lot of people that I know had also seen her when they were out in the bush in the Blue Mountains. So I was thinking maybe it was like the ghost of a convict or something like that, maybe the child of convicts or something like that, because it kind of seemed like older, like it kind of looked like a sort of older style, like nightgown or something like that. But yeah, a few of my friends have also said that they've seen like a girl with dark hair in a white dress, like in their periphery, and then when you turn and look, there's nothing there. Yeah, that would happen a lot. So I wonder if there was something, because there used to be a lot of settlements in the bush and things like that, or people, that escaped from like the harsh, essentially slavery that convicts were under. And I wonder if like maybe a family set up like a humpy in the bush and they were living there, kind of hiding from the authorities. And maybe there was a family out there with a little girl, and maybe that's what it is. But you think you heard of it, Appalachian Trail Story? Yeah, it seems to be a recurring theme all over the world. And I wonder if it's just in a particular time period a lot of chicks rocked a white dress. Cuz it's really interesting, like it more than likely isn't the same spirit, but I think particularly in Korea, like I know now they wear black hanbok when they're mourning, but I think historically they used to wear white hanbok. And I think in a lot of East Asian countries, white was the color of mourning originally. So I wonder if rather than black, so I wonder if I wonder if it's something to do with like mourning clothes, or if it's just that white cotton was just, you know, a common material that was used for dress. So maybe when we see apparitions, they're wearing white because that's what they used to wear. And I guess black and brown are the most common hair colors, right? And women typically, traditionally in most cultures, had long hair. So maybe that's why we're seeing them
before their eyes. Others have heard her soft, melancholic whispers, calling them deeper into the woods, compelling them to follow her despite the growing sense of danger. The legends surrounding Jangsan Mountain have given it a reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity. The eerie feeling that lingers in the forest, combined with the many strange encounters with the woman in white, has made the mountain a popular yet unsettling location for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. For those brave enough to face its mysteries, Jangsan Mountain promises not only breathtaking views, but also a chilling reminder of the past and the restless spirits that still wander its forested depths. 9. The House of Choi Champan, Andong.
Ooh.
Nestled in the historic city of Andong, the House of Choi Champan is a well-preserved hanok, a traditional Korean house that has stood for centuries. Built during the Joseon dynasty, this house holds not only historical significance, but also a chilling reputation. It is said to be haunted by the spirits of the Choi family ancestors who once lived there, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and unease. Visitors to the house often describe an inexplicable sense of dread as they enter its quiet, ancient halls. The house, though beautiful with its intricate wooden beams and classic design, seems to harbor an eerie presence. Some have claimed to see ghostly figures wandering the rooms, dressed in traditional Joseon-era attire. These spectral apparitions are believed to be the spirits of the Choi family, who, according to legend, are still guarding their ancestral home from the afterlife. Many who have ventured into the house report sudden drops in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of being watched,
Ooh.
as though the spirits are lingering, observing the living.
That's stunning, though. These houses are so beautiful. I can't wait to go to Korea. I have to save up. I have to save up extra hard. Although the good thing about being in Australia is that Asia is so close. Like if we want to go to Europe or something, it's like 20-something hours of flying. And it usually takes at least 30 hours to get somewhere because you got to like have a stopover in like Singapore or Malaysia or, you know, somewhere because planes obviously can't carry that much fuel. So you have to stop somewhere. It usually takes you like 30 hours to get somewhere. But when like, say if I want to go from like Sydney to Tokyo, it's like a 9-hour flight. But for an Australian, that is so short. Like it takes 5 hours just to get to Perth from where I live. So, and that's in the same country. So I do like being in Australia. Korea is cheap compared to say Japan. The Australian dollar is really strong at the moment against both the yen and the won. So I'm pretty excited to be able to go. It's definitely like a once in a lifetime chance to be able to afford to go to Japan and Korea. So definitely looking forward to it.
They have heard faint whispers in the corners of the house, voices that seem to echo the past, but when they turn, no one is there. The oppressive atmosphere of the house creates a sense of unease.
It's so beautiful,
as if the boundary
though.
between the living and the dead is dangerously thin. The House of Choi Champan has become a captivating destination for those intrigued by both Korea's cultural heritage and the paranormal. Its rich history, combined with the haunting presence of its spectral residents, offers visitors a glimpse into the past, where the spirits of the Choi family are believed to continue their watch over the home. For those brave enough to explore, the house provides a fascinating and chilling experience where the line
Japan's currency is not that high. Yeah, that's why I can afford to go to Japan, because the Australian dollar right now to the yen is what the US dollar used to be to the yen, which is actually, you know, good for me. I mean, obviously the American dollar is a lot stronger than that, but you know, for me, that's still very doable. And for me, like, if I stay in like business hotels while I'm in Japan, and I do want to go to an onsen for maybe like a night, you know, a ryokan, I can never say it. I want to stay like at a traditional Japanese inn for one night, but that's so expensive. So I'll just do it for one night. Then the rest of the time, I'm happy to just, you know, stay at a cheapo hotel and, you know, get around on the Shinkansen and happy to eat at konbinis. That doesn't bother me. Like, I just want to go, and I will behave myself. I am a well-behaved gaijin. Like, I behave myself. I am respectful. The pound is the highest. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I earn Australian dollars, so I have to contend with that.
Lines between history, culture, and the supernatural blur. 10. Goryong Dagaya Historic Site, Gyeongsangbuk-do. The Goryong Dagaya Historic Site in Gyeongsangbuk-do is an ancient burial ground dating back to the era of the Gaya Confederacy.
Ooh.
This historical site, shrouded in centuries of mystery, is believed to be haunted by the spirits of noble families who were buried there centuries ago. It offers a glimpse into the past, but not without an unsettling presence that lingers in the air. As night falls, the area surrounding the tombs takes on a strange, eerie atmosphere. Visitors who have ventured into the site after dark report experiencing unusual occurrences. Flickering lights, resembling the faint glow of lanterns, appear in the distance, though no
Oh, I
source can
didn't
be
like
found.
that.
Additionally, some claim to hear indistinct murmurs or soft whispers, as if the spirits of the noble families are attempting to communicate from beyond the grave. These ethereal sounds seem to echo through the tombs and the ancient stone structures, adding to the site's haunting allure. The Goryong Dagaya Historic Site not only holds significant historical value as a key burial ground of the Gaya Confederacy, but also exudes a palpable aura of mystery. The tombs, some of which are said to be the final resting places of important figures from the Gaya Kingdom, are believed to be the anchors for restless spirits who are still bound to the land. For those intrigued by the supernatural, the combination of ancient history and the tales of wandering...
It's so interesting how so many cultures have burial mounds as, like, you know, a component of like their ritualistic like death rites, because the Vikings had them, the Celts had them, the Koreans have them. Like, I don't know, it's just really interesting.
Spirits makes this site an unforgettable, chilling destination. The allure of the past blends with the unexplained, leaving visitors to wonder whether the souls of the Gaya nobility still haunt the earth they once ruled. These haunted locations hold stories of tragedy, mystery, and spine-chilling encounters that continue to haunt visitors to this day. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain: South Korea's paranormal hotspots are not for the faint of heart. Which of these places would you dare to visit?
None
Let
of
us know in
them.
the comments.
None of them. I will visit none of them. Thank you. I'm not. I'm not doing that. No. All right. We gonna check this. That is, I copied and pasted the wrong thing. Supposed to. Now I gotta scroll all the way back up. Where is it? It's supposed to be checking out some bridge. I don't know how far up it is. Copy. Paste. There we go. Mr. Nightmare's vids. I don't know if we're gonna find any. Might not be able to find any spooky stuff on it. Oh, the following may contain content of self-deletion. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to watch this, Farin. I don't know if we're gonna be able to watch this. I think I might get my stream demonetized, but yeah. We'll see. I won't find anything online. Oh, it's like just word of mouth. Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Max is in the Air Force. Are you in like Okinawa or something? Oh no, you said you're in Tokyo. Duh. I forgot when you told me like 2 seconds ago. How do you say it? Saraat? I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. 10 most haunted places in Thailand. Ooh. People say the bridge pulls people towards the edge. Oh, that's creepy. That's so scary. Do you feel anything when you drive over it in a car or just when you walk over it? Because I wonder about that, because the Westgate Bridge in Melbourne, a lot of people died making it. A lot of people died when they were making it. And I want to say maybe about 2010, this psycho guy who had a divorce from his wife, to get back at his wife for their divorce, he threw their toddler off the bridge. He just stopped his car in the middle of the bridge and threw, I think, like a 3-year-old girl off the bridge. It was really, really horrific. And everyone in Australia was just like completely heartbroken. Someone on Kick is yelling at me. Do I hear you? Yeah, I see you. I see you, Banda. Pronounced Horegat. Okay, that was probably wrong too, but I'll do my best. Come to Saudi Arabia. I have lupus. It's too sunny for me in Saudi Arabia. I don't think I would I don't think a pale goth girl with lupus would do well in Saudi Arabia. I don't think it would be good for my complexion. Most haunted places in Vietnam. Let's just, yeah. I I would burn like a vampire in Saudi Arabia, I definitely would. Although I would love to see all the Islamic architecture. I especially would like to go to Mecca and stuff like that. I would love to see a lot of that. But unfortunately, I don't think. You've biked over it several times. You've never felt anything. But one of your uncles refuses to go over it. Yeah, I can imagine. I think some people are like a lot more sensitive to like the energies than other people. All right, this one is about Vietnam. I guess we'll just go through Asia. We'll just go through Asia today. We're in Southeast Asia now with the Vietnamese. Australia's favorite takeaway food, the banh mi. Thank you for giving that to us, Vietnam. We appreciate it. We appreciate you.
Vietnam, a land of breathtaking landscapes and rich history, also holds some of the most terrifying and haunted places in the world. From abandoned prisons with lingering spirits to eerie ghost houses that send shivers down your spine, these locations are not for the faint of heart. Dare to step into the darkness as we uncover the 10 most haunted places in Vietnam, where the past refuses to rest. 1. Hoa Lo Prison, Hanoi Hilton, Hanoi. Deep in the heart of Hanoi, hidden behind towering walls and rusting iron bars, stands Hoa Lo Prison, a place soaked in blood, agony, and whispers of the dead. Originally built by the French in the late 19th century to imprison Vietnamese revolutionaries, this fortress of suffering later became infamous as the Hanoi Hilton, where American POWs were held during the Vietnam War.
Oh, are you Vietnamese? Misleading. We have a lot of Vietnamese people in Australia. We love Vietnamese people. We love the food. Yeah, banh mi is one of the most popular foods in Australia. It's like, you know, just like going and getting some McDonald's or something. Everybody gets it for lunch. It's our favorite.
Visitors often describe an overwhelming sense of dread as they step inside. The air is thick with an unshakable presence, as if the spirits of tormented souls still linger. Strange noises echo through the empty corridors, chains rattling, faint whispers, and sudden cold gusts in sealed rooms. One security guard swore he saw a shadowy figure crouched in a dark cell, only to vanish the moment he approached. Others report hearing muffled cries of pain at night, remnants of the brutal tortures that once took place here. The most chilling tale? A woman, dressed in old prisoner rags, has been seen standing by the guillotine, her hollow eyes filled with silent rage. When approached, she disappears, leaving behind the lingering scent of blood. Hoa Lo Prison is no ordinary historical site. It is a graveyard of forgotten souls, forever trapped within its cursed walls. Hai, Binh Hung Hoa Cemetery, Ho Chi Minh City. Hidden in the outskirts of Ho Chi Minh City lies Binh Hung Hoa Cemetery, a vast burial.
Oh, you share the same blood as in like your old people. I get you misleading. Sorry, I thought you were saying like your ancestors came from Vietnam. Sorry, I misinterpreted that.
Ground that has long been abandoned and shrouded in darkness. Once the city's largest cemetery, it now stands as a decaying wasteland, filled with cracked tombstones.
I didn't say Macca's. Yeah, did I say McDonald's instead of Macca's? I know there's Americans in the chat, so yeah, we say Macca's. Macca's with an A, Bailey, not with an ER. We say Macca's like it's got an AH at the end. Macca's.
Overgrown weeds, and an eerie silence that weighs heavy in the air. Locals avoid the area at night, whispering tales of restless spirits roaming the graves. Many claim to have seen shadowy figures drifting between tombstones,
Oh.
their hollow eyes glowing in the darkness. Some have even reported hearing.
Why do they all have hollow eyes? I don't like this. Almost time for a Macca's run? No, I had a house burger today. I had like a portion of like 250 grams of mincemeat because I wanted to have a high protein lunch. So I was like, well, I've got this like big slab of mince. So I just like seasoned it and I fried it and then I melted cheese on it. And then I cut up a gherkin and I cut up some onion and I put tomato sauce and I had that. Don't eat the baby meat. You prefer the ferry network? I always prefer ferries. It's always nice to get on a boat, I feel like. I feel like boats, I don't know, it's just nice.
Distant cries and murmurs.
Was it better than McDonald's? Well, it definitely had more protein than a Macca's burger because a quarter pounder is only a quarter pound of beef, right? But I had a quarter of a kilo. So that's what, twice as much? Maybe like a double quarter pounder. That's what I had. Yeah. Definitely better quality ingredients, but I do like Macca's. I do like to have it occasionally. They've got wings there at the moment. They've got like fried chicken wings.
As if the dead are whispering their sorrows into the wind. A chilling legend tells of a young woman in a red dress, seen wandering the cemetery's narrow paths. Some say she was buried alive. Others believe she was a vengeful spirit searching for something, or someone, she lost in life. One motorbike rider, passing through the cemetery late at night, swore he saw her standing in the middle of the road. As he braked suddenly, she vanished into thin air, leaving behind an icy chill that seeped into his bones. For those who dare to visit, Bin Hunghua Cemetery is more than just an abandoned graveyard. It is a doorway to the restless dead, a place where the boundary between the living and the afterlife is dangerously thin. 3. Thuy Tien Lake.
Do I get... Wait, where was the question I was just reading? Oh, do I get lots of questions of whether we have wild roos? I do occasionally get questions about Australian wildlife, but I don't necessarily think it's a silly question because even if you live on the outskirts of a city, like if you live in the inner city, then yeah, there's not lots of kangaroos popping around. But on the outskirts of Melbourne and Sydney, I don't know about Brisbane because I've never been there, but on the outskirts of Sydney, even if you catch the Western Sydney train line, around like Mount Druitt, like between Blacktown and Penrith, you see kangaroos from the train. So it's not necessarily a silly question. Like there are roos the more like further out you get from the city. There are a lot of kangaroos in Australia, like way more than people. It's just, since like urbanization and things like that. I mean, there definitely used to be kangaroos before we built up our cities. They used to be everywhere. Like, I was reading a book about the town that I grew up in Western Sydney, and they were saying when white colonizers first went out there, they used to have dingo hunts to sort of replicate the fox hunts that they had in the UK. And there's definitely no dingoes there. There hasn't been for a few hundred years, but it just goes to show that, like, how much human beings can really impact the environment. Because yeah, it's definitely not like that now.
Abandoned water park, Huy. Deep in the misty forests of Huy, hidden from plain sight, lies the eerie remains of Thuy Tien Lake Abandoned Water Park. A place where time has stopped Yet something still lingers. Once a vibrant amusement park, it was abruptly abandoned in the mid-2000s, leaving behind decaying water slides, broken statues.
Oh, look at that dragon. That's so beautiful. Look at that bridge. The woman in the red dress. Well, yeah, the thing with a lot of Asian countries is though, like, red is a good luck color. So, like, you wear it on your wedding day or you wear it on Lunar New Year, things like that. Like, I've been to a lot of, I think in Indian weddings as well, they'll typically get married in a red sari. In a lot of cultures, like, red is like the wedding color, or it's like a good luck color. So you wear it like on days where you want to have good luck, like important festivals and things like that. So I think a Vietnamese ghost wearing a red dress, it was probably either a bride or like maybe they died on like Lunar New Year or something like that. Zelda Water Temple. It really does look like that. Hey, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think it would be really cool to take photos of. Although if it's haunted, it's probably a bit scary. The thing is, a lot of these places are run down and dangerous. Yeah. Look, I definitely wouldn't go by myself. That's for sure. But I would take photos from the shore. I can use a zoom. I can use a zoom lens. It'll be all right.
Dragon sculpture that looms over the lake like a forgotten guardian. But what
that's
truly
stunning.
makes this place terrifying isn't just its haunting emptiness. It's the stories of what was left behind. Locals and explorers alike have reported strange whispers floating through the humid air, as if unseen forces are murmuring secrets of the past. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures standing near the dragon's mouth, watching them with hollow, unseen eyes. A few brave visitors who entered the dragon's decaying body heard heavy footsteps behind them, only to turn and find no one there. One spine-chilling tale tells of a tourist who ventured too far into the abandoned structures. He suddenly felt an ice-cold hand gripping his wrist, pulling him toward the lake.
No.
And he broke free and ran, only to turn back and see wet footprints appear.
What's my take on the YouTube ID check? Well, I already have my account age verified, so I haven't been asked to verify my age or anything like that. But I do worry because I look way, way, way younger than I am. Like, for example, when I went to the chemist, or I guess if you're American, the pharmacy, when I went to the pharmacy, the pharmacist was very concerned that I was under 16 years old. And let me tell you, I am older than that. And he thought I was like some teenager that was like, trying to buy grown-up things. But I am very petite, and I do have like a very like neotenous face. So when I told him how old I was, he was apologizing profusely, and he was so shocked. And I was just I was like, no, like that is the biggest compliment. Thank you so much. The same with the ladies at the bottle shop or the liquor store, I guess you would say in America. They also were very concerned that I was under 18. And I had like my driver's license on my phone, and they couldn't believe how old I was either. They were like, what the heck? But I was just like, please everybody, you're giving me a massive ego. I'm not going to be able to fit. My head is not going to be able to fit through the door. But yeah, it's definitely a lot better than looking older than you are. Like, I remember when I just turned 18 and I used to get like a lot of scrutiny over my ID, like people possibly thinking that it was fake. And especially like if I would be in like rural Australia, so like in the country, I would get, you would have the old barmaid, that smokes a pack of smokes a day, and they would always say to me, oh, don't worry, Dal, you'll love it when you're older. oh, don't worry, possum, it's a compliment. You gotta look so good. You're gonna look so good in 20 years. You'll look so good, blah, 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 blah. And like, as I'm getting older, I'm like, that lady that smoked like 500 durries a day was right. I am happy that I look way younger than I am. A pack of durries. Yeah.
Appearing on the dry ground, following him. Whether it is the spirits of forgotten workers, drowned souls, or something far more sinister, Tui Tien Lake remains one of the most haunted places in Vietnam, where the past refuses to stay buried. 4. The Ghost House of 300, Kim Ma, Hanoi. Standing in eerie silence at one of Hanoi's busiest streets. The Ghost House of 300 Kim Ma is a decaying mansion wrapped in layers of mystery and fear.
But what's my take on the age verification? Look, I think a lot of young kids are seeing things that they're not ready to see. Like, I read a study that, especially with pornography, that I think the YouTube stuff is a little bit of an overreach. I don't think there's too much stuff on YouTube that's going to be scarring people. But I know, like, you know, sites like Cornhub and things like that. Like, I read a study that said, like, the average age that kids are seeing corn for their first time is like 11, and I think that's incredibly psychologically damaging for children. I think yeah, look, I do think there is stuff where look, a lot of it you probably would be hoping that parents would be parenting their children and keeping an eye on, you know, what content they're consuming. But especially with costs of living now, and with, you know, both parents being in the workforce, or, you know, a lot of single moms that are working and trying to raise kids, and they don't necessarily have the time or the resources to monitor everything that their kids are doing. So I don't know. I think it's a rock and a hard place, but I think YouTube probably doesn't need to be regulated. But then again, like, all these apps like TikTok and Instagram, like, girls are getting all, especially young girls, are getting all like these body dysmorphia disorders, like, you know, anorexia, young girls wanting plastic surgery, young girls wanting like all these things because they're seeing all these influencers that have had all these cosmetic procedures done, and they're seeing you know, just things that aren't realistic. Like, the influencers in those pictures don't even look like that. They've had surgery, plus they're using all these filters. And I think that is doing psychological damage to these kids. But then again, it's like, I don't know, should the responsibility, should the onus be on the parents then? Like, why is your kid on their smartphone all day? Why do they have like unfettered internet access? I don't know. It's but I can understand why the government wanted to step in and regulate, especially pornography. I think, yeah, porn needs to be heavily regulated. You were shown porn by a senior when you were 12. Yeah, that's so young. That's so young to be seeing that. That's too young to be seeing that. And I think it's like even constitutes abuse in some situations, right? Like, that is just way too young to be seeing that. And yeah, it's very illegal. It's very illegal. And yeah, that's what I worry about. I worry about the psychological damage that especially seeing corn at a very young age does to people, and how that twists, you know, people's views, especially young boys' views of women, and like what women look like, and what, you know, how to treat women, and what normal loving relationships between adults look like. I think that can really skew that. And so, like, I don't want to be like the Puritan prude out there, but like, I also do worry for kids growing up right now. It's yeah, I think it's hard out there. I just think it's really hard. But yeah, I think the YouTube stuff is an overreach for sure. I don't think there's much stuff on YouTube that's gonna like scar you, you know. And I think there is age restriction on YouTube anyway if you're not logged in, right? If you're not logged in, you sort of have to. It didn't have any psychological effects as far as you know. Well, I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, the guy that showed you that was yeah, that was pretty irresponsible of them, I would say.
For decades, this abandoned villa has been the subject of terrifying urban legends, with many locals refusing to go near it after dark. Despite its prime location, no one has successfully lived here for long. Each attempt met with unexplainable misfortunes and tragedies. According to rumors, the house was once owned by a wealthy family, but tragedy struck when the daughter mysteriously disappeared. Some say her spirit never left, doomed to wander the halls in search of something or someone. Many passers-by claim to have seen a one woman in white standing motionless on the balcony, her long hair covering her face. Others hear faint whispers and sobbing, coming from the locked rooms, even though the house has been abandoned for decades. One taxi driver, unfamiliar with the legends, stopped in front of the house to take a short nap. He was suddenly jolted awake by violent knocks on his car window. When he looked up, he saw a pale, expressionless face staring back at him. Panicked, he sped away, only to glance in his rearview mirror and see the same figure sitting in his back seat. The ghost house of 300. Kim Ma remains one of Vietnam's most haunted locations, a place where the spirits of the past refuse to be forgotten. 5. Con Dao Prison, Con Dao Islands. Deep in the heart of the Con Dao Islands, a place of breathtaking beauty, lies one of Vietnam's most horrifying remnants of the past, Con Dao Prison. Built by the French in the 19th century, this prison was a living hell for thousands of prisoners, where brutal torture and inhumane conditions left behind an imprint of agony, suffering, and death. The most infamous section of the prison, the Bois tiger cages, were cramped cells where prisoners were chained, starved, and beaten,
Ooh.
many of whom never made it out alive. Even today, the air inside the abandoned prison feels heavy, as if the spirits of the tortured souls still linger. Visitors have reported chilling whispers in the empty halls, sudden drops in temperature, and the eerie sensation of being watched. Some say they've seen shadowy figures moving through the corridors.
Yeah, I don't doubt
while
it.
others claim to have heard the sound of chains dragging along the stone floors, even when no one else was around. One former guard who revisited the
Yeah, relationships at a young age can definitely have effects on you. Like I had a boyfriend that I was with for 4 years when I was in high school, and it was definitely, when that ended, it was definitely very, very, very hard. And like I didn't necessarily have the emotional maturity to deal with like that intensity of feelings. I think relationships when you're really, really young can be really hard. But yeah, I get that. And yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, look, there's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of bad people out there too. It's just unfortunately sometimes you have to filter through some bad ones until you find some good ones. I'm just going to grab a cup of tea, guys, because my throat is so sore. But I will be back in like probably less than 4 minutes. I caught you guys. I caught you. Teacher is back in class. Look to the front and do your work.
Prison years later, refused to enter his old post. He claimed that every night during his service, he saw ghostly prisoners staring at him from the dark cells, their hollow eyes filled with rage and despair. On some nights, he even heard blood-curdling screams echoing through the corridors. Screams of those long dead, forever trapped within the walls of Kondao prison. This once forgotten prison has become a place of dark tourism, but those who visit must tread carefully. The spirits of the past are still there, waiting in the shadows, their suffering never ending. 6. The Haunted Apartment, 7-27, Tran Hung Dao, Ho Chi Minh City. Once a grand apartment complex towering over Ho Chi Minh City, the abandoned 727 Tran Hung Dao building now stands as a decaying relic, shrouded in darkness.
Wait, are the teachers showing you 911 videos or 911 videos? Like emergency calls or like the Twin Towers getting hit? 4 minutes passed quicker than you expected. Yeah, I have a pretty fast kettle. It boils water pretty quick. So I'm just letting the tea brew on my table. And then I'll let it cool down a bit before I drink it. But had to make sure everyone in the chat was behaving themselves. (9/11) Yeah, it was on the news when I was leaving to go to school. It was on the news as I was like leaving. It was live. You're old. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It was only 2001. That was like 24 years ago. Like, doesn't necessarily mean that you're old. It's very cold in Melbourne at the moment. Oh yeah, it's freezing in Melbourne. I think like everybody's under the impression that like Australia is very, very hot. And a lot of it is hot in the summer, but Melbourne's right at the bottom of Australia. And so we get winds from Antarctica and that are really cold. We have penguins in Melbourne, okay? We have penguins. That's how cold it is. There are penguins just, you know, chilling out at the beach. That's how cold it is. You remember all the kids whinging that Cheese TV was cancelled for the day? What, they couldn't watch Pokemon before they went to school? Yeah.
And chilling whispers of the past. Originally built as a luxurious high-rise during the Vietnam War, it was later used as a residence for American soldiers. But as the war raged on, many of these soldiers met violent and tragic ends, their spirits said to be forever trapped within the building's walls. Even after the war, residents reported unsettling encounters, objects moving on their own, strange knocking sounds in the dead of night, and disembodied voices echoing through empty hallways. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures standing in the corners of their rooms, only to disappear when approached. One of the most terrifying legends speaks of 4 ghostly women dressed in
Melbourne is south. So Melbourne is in the south of Australia. So it's on the mainland of Australia. It's on like the main continental chunk. But it's hang on, I'll pull up a map and I'll show you. Boop, boop, boop. All right, let's have a look. So this is us. So this is the bottom of Australia, and this is Melbourne right here, down the bottom. So we've got Melbourne, and then we've got Tasmania, and then next stop is Antarctica. So this here is the Southern Ocean. So Antarctica is just there. See? Antarctica. And all along here is the Southern Ocean. Between Australia and Antarctica is the Southern Ocean. So this water here is bloody cold. This is the nice water here. This is Sydney, beautiful beaches. This is Queensland, beautiful beaches, beautiful beaches, beautiful beaches, beautiful beaches, beautiful beaches, beautiful beaches, beautiful beaches. Crocodiles up here, cold down here. So this side, nice beaches. This side, nice beaches. Here cold, here crocodiles. And that's all you need to know, really. That's all you need to know. It's not a complicated place. It's yeah.
Traditional Vietnamese ao dai, appearing at night on the upper floors. According to urban myths, during construction, 4 female workers were accidentally sealed within the building's foundation. Their restless spirits are said to roam the structure, seeking revenge on those who disturbed their eternal slumber.
Ooh.
In the years before its demolition, the building had become a ghost hunting hotspot, with thrill seekers daring to enter, only to flee.
Yeah, see, this is what I don't like. Oh, Kiwis are what we call New Zealanders. We call people from New Zealand Kiwis because they have Kiwi birds there. Like these little cute little birds that can't fly called Kiwis. And yeah, we call New Zealanders Kiwis. Aussies hate to be called Kiwis. I've had people think, when I've been overseas, I've had people ask me if I'm from Australia or New Zealand. I don't get offended. I really like New Zealand. I really like Kiwis. Like we make fun of people from New Zealand a lot, but we love them. They're like our little brothers who like we're really mean to, but deep down inside we really like them. It's a versatile stream. Oh yeah, I'm all over. I'm all over the place. I have very bad ADHD, so I just bounce from one thing to the next. Yeah, New Zealand is our little brother that we're mean to, but if anyone else is mean to them, then you better watch out. You've had Kiwis before? The fruit is actually from China, not from New Zealand, but they like to pretend that it has anything to do with them. They like to pretend a lot of things, but that's okay.
In terror after hearing unexplained footsteps, eerie whispers, and the feeling of unseen hands brushing against them. Some say that even though the building is now gone, its ghosts still wander the land where it once stood, forever searching for peace that will never come. 7. Kren Pass, Haunted House, Da Lat. Hidden deep within the misty hills of Da Lat.
Oh, that's a coffee shop near there.
Kren Pass Haunted House carries a terrifying history that sends chills down the spine of even the bravest visitors. Locals whisper of horrifying events that took place during the French colonial era, when a group of French legionnaires stationed at the pass used the house as their outpost. However, their dark deeds turned the place into a site of unspeakable horrors.
Ooh.
According to legend, young women traveling alone were abducted, assaulted, and brutally murdered by the soldiers.
Yeah, that would definitely leave a bad energetic. You gotta go, misleading. Oh, well, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll probably be streaming this time next Sunday as well. So if you want to hang out, you are more than welcome to join us again. We would like to see you.
Their bodies were discarded into the surrounding forests, their souls unable to rest. Soon after, eerie screams began to echo through the night, and strange shadows appeared near the house.
Ooh.
Sol-
That is definitely a jump scare. This is what I hate. I hate the stuff like that. It's so scary.
Soldiers who stayed there reported hearing footsteps creeping toward them, whispers in the wind, and the agonizing cries of women calling for help. Years later, caretakers and passers-by claimed to have encountered ghostly figures standing near the house, their eyes filled with sorrow and rage. One night, a watchman, hired to guard the abandoned house, was found running down the mountain, trembling in terror. He claimed that something unseen had chased him, whispering in his ear and grabbing at his clothes. Today, the Pren Pass haunted house remains a place of fear and mystery, abandoned to time and legend. Few dare to approach after nightfall, as those who do often return with chilling tales of ghostly wails, flickering lights, and unseen forces lurking within its...
Yeah, I went to a place that I knew was haunted, and then some scary stuff happened to me. Yeah. Why go there then? I really don't understand, like, people that are terrified of ghosts, so they, like, go ghost hunting. Makes a lot of sense. Like, if you're successful in that endeavor, what is going to happen to you? You're going to see ghosts, and you're going to get scared. Don't do it.
Decaying walls. 8. Abandoned church, Nam Dinh. Standing eerily along the windswept coast of Von Nam Dinh, the Wa abandoned church is a haunt.
That looks like some decent surf. It looks like, you know, looks like you could have a good time there with the surfboard.
Hauntingly beautiful ruin, swallowed by the relentless waves and whispers of the past. Once a grand place of worship, the church was abandoned due to rising sea levels and coastal erosion. However, locals believe that it was not just nature that forced people away. Something sinister lingers within its crumbling walls. Visitors often report hearing ghostly hymns echoing through the empty corridors.
Oh, that's
even
beautiful,
though no one is
though.
inside. At night, shadowy figures are seen wandering among the broken pillars, their faces obscured by mist. Fishermen passing by have claimed to see a mysterious woman dressed in white walking along the shore before vanishing into
Always wearing white every single time. You have a strange attraction to really old abandoned buildings. I do like abandoned buildings, but if something's notoriously haunted, I'm not gonna go there. Like, I love going to like Europe particularly and walking around Roman ruins, or, you know, any type of ruins, really Greek ruins, all of that. But like, if someone says, oh, hey, a bunch of people got murdered in this house, I'm not like, well, hey guys, let me go eat there. That sounds like a good time. You know what I mean? I don't, You wonder how many haunted places are just ghosts that want to be left alone. Well, yeah, imagine you're just chilling out for eternity and then like some knob with an iPhone comes in. It's like, hey, YouTube, here I am in this haunted asylum. And they're like, oh, not again. Not again. I just want to have an eternal sleep, and these douchebags keep on showing up. I'm going to have to get the chains out again. I'm going to have to make the wall bleed. Ugh. It's just never ending. It's just never ending with these kids.
thin air. Some say she was a devoted follower who drowned near the church, and now...
Oh, I just remembered something. I was watching this Singaporean guy on YouTube, and he was ghost hunting. And anyway, apparently there were like these lesbian lovers that killed themselves. And he had one of those like radio things. I don't know what they're called, like a spirit voice. He had like a spirit voice thing. And, you know, like they use like the radio thing to try and hear like the ghost talking. And there was like a weird like, and he's like, oh, it said I'm gay. And then he starts yelling out, are you gay? Are you gay? Are you a homosexual spirit? And it was the funniest shit I have ever heard in my life. I was rolling around laughing. It was so funny. I'm never going to forget the line. Are you gay? Are you gay? Are you a homosexual spirit? What the heck? Crystal Cut. Hello. Hello, Crystal Cut.
Her restless spirit searches for salvation. Even more chilling are the stories of phantom bells ringing at midnight, despite the fact that the church's bell tower collapsed long ago.
Oh.
Brave souls who have ventured inside speak of an overwhelming sense of unease, as if unseen eyes are watching them. Some leave.
What did you just join into? We're watching ghosts. We're watching ghost stories. We're talking about ghosts. I was just talking about this Singaporean YouTuber that was going ghost hunting in like Singapore, funnily enough. And apparently there was like some hotel room where like some lesbian lovers killed themselves. So he was trying to talk to them. So he just starts yelling, "Are you gay? Are you gay? Are you a homosexual spirit?" And that's what I was talking about because it was the funniest stuff I've ever heard. It's called a spirit box. Yeah, I knew it was something like that, but I think it uses like radio waves. But anyway, oh yeah, Crystal, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life because he was just like trying to talk to these ghosts, and then he just starts yelling at the top of his lungs, asking the ghosts if they're gay. I was like, what the heck is happening? It was it was one of the funnier things I have seen on YouTube.
With unexplained scratches on their skin, while others hear whispers in an unknown language. Though the abandoned church of Nam Dinh is a breathtaking sight, those who dare to explore it after dark may find themselves trapped between the living and the dead, forever haunted by the spirits that refuse to leave. 9. Phuquoc Prison, Phuquoc Island. Deep in the heart of Phuquoc Island, the infamous Phuquoc Prison, also known as the Coconut Tree Prison, stands as a chilling...
Spirit box is a fake. It just pulls random words from radio stations. Yeah, well, I feel like it just tunes into a frequency between radio stations and does pick up random words, or it's probably picking up like truck drivers, like random words from trucks that are driving past or something. Sometimes you can hear songs from radio stations. Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it. Only reason it sometimes correlates with the question is because it's coincidence staged or just because the creator and viewer wants to believe it. Yeah. Look, I don't doubt it. I do believe in the supernatural, but I think a lot of like the ghost hunting channels and a lot of the people that purport to be like psychics and stuff are full of crap and just want to take people's money. Like I think psychics that tell you they can talk to your dead loved ones, that charge like people that are grieving like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be able to talk to their dead family members. I think that's like very opportunistic and very parasitic and very unethical, and it actually makes me upset because you know that they're just guessing things. They're just like cold reading and saying, oh, like, you know, say if like the most common letter that a name would start with in that culture is M, they'll be like, oh, I'm getting an M, you know. And it's just I think it's just so unethical, and I think it's cruel. To do that to people that are grieving. Look, I think there are some people in the world that are very intuitive and can pick up on, you know, vibes or whatever, but I don't think, you know, anyone's sitting around with a telephone to the afterworld, to the afterlife, right? And I think that people that they say you can do that either offer the service for free or don't offer it because it's so unethical.
Reminder of Vietnam's dark past. Built during the French colonial era and later used during the Vietnam War, this prison became a place of unimaginable suffering. Thousands of prisoners were subjected to extreme torture, starvation, and inhumane conditions. Even today, the walls seem to whisper the agonizing cries of those who perished within. Visitors often describe an oppressive, heavy air as soon as they step inside. Some claim to feel unseen hands grabbing at their clothing, while others hear disembodied screams and groans
Nope.
echoing through the empty halls. The most terrifying reports come from those who have seen shadowy apparitions of tortured prisoners, their hollow eyes filled with pain and sorrow. Guards and night workers at the site have refused to stay after dark, recounting stories of objects moving on their own, sudden temperature drops, and ghostly figures lurking near the old cells. One of the most haunted spots is the infamous tiger cages, tiny barbed wire enclosures where prisoners were locked up and left to die.
Oh God.
Visitors claim to have seen phantom limbs reaching out from the cages, as if the spirits of the tortured are still trapped, unable to escape their suffering. To this day, Phu Quoc Prison remains not just a historical landmark, but a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. Those who enter may find themselves face to face with the restless souls that still haunt this island of nightmares. 10. Ba Chuk Killing Fields, Anjang. Tucked away in the peaceful country.
Jeez, I wonder if a place called the Killing Fields is going to be haunted, guys. When I think of the Killing Fields, I think of Cambodia, but I mean, I guess there's more than one.
Countryside of Anjang Province. The Ba Chuk Killing Fields hide a horrifying past. In April 1978, this quiet village became the site of one.
Oh my God, the water thing, Hyperbovian. All the hippies were into that for so long. They were like, you have to speak kind words to yourself. That was the supposedly the Japanese scientist, right, that wrote like love on the water bottle, and then he wrote like hate on one. And the ones that like the water that had like bad words on it, when they froze it, they had like malformed like ice crystals. But the crystals that had like positive words and positive affirmations on them, they form beautiful crystals. So you have to say nice words to yourself. Otherwise, I don't know, if someone freezes you, you'll have bad ice crystals. I mean, I don't plan on freezing myself, so I think I'm okay. You never saw ghostly women, but at a specific spot is Banter Black. What is that? I just don't hang out. You don't hang out there for more than 2 seconds?
One of the most brutal massacres in Vietnam's history. The Khmer Rouge stormed through Ba Chuk, slaughtering over 3,000 innocent men, women, and children in a horrifying display of cruelty. No one was spared. Entire families were wiped out.
I can vouch for Hyperbovian. They are a real person and they are very, very autistic. But they're also a very nice person. So, you know, that's okay. You know, I have insane ADHD. So, you know, we're all a little bit neurospicy around here. It's you know, it's all right. It takes all types to make the world go round. Your brother used to scare the bejeebers out of you by hiding and making things move. Yeah, that would be scary.
And the once thriving village was left in ruins. Today, the Ba Chuk Memorial stands as a solemn reminder of this unspeakable horror, holding the skulls and bones of the victims. But locals believe the spirits of the massacred never left. Visitors report an eerie silence that seems to press down on them, as if the very air is heavy with sorrow. Some claim to have heard whispers and cries carried by the wind, while others have seen shadowy figures moving among the graves. One of the most chilling encounters comes from those who visit the Tukdup cave, where hundreds of villagers sought refuge. Some survivors claim that on certain nights, phantom footsteps and distant wails can still be heard, as if the ghosts of the victims are reliving their final moments. The most terrifying tales speak of visitors who suddenly feel overwhelming sadness or an invisible force.
Yeah, it's almost like something really horrible happened there. Jeez.
Pushing them away, as if the spirits are warning them not to disturb their eternal rest. For those who dare to visit after dark, Bachuk is not just a historical site. It is a place where the past refuses to be forgotten, where the echoes of the massacre still linger, waiting to be heard. These chilling locations are filled with unsettling whispers, lingering spirits, and terrifying encounters. Would you dare to visit any of these haunted places?
No,
Let
I
us
would
know
not
in the
dare.
comments below.
I would
Don't
not
forget
dare to do
like,
that.
Share, and subscribe for more spine-tingling horror stories from around the world.
Hyperphobia. Crystal doesn't like you talking to her with your AI script. Alright, well, it's actually time to start the normal stream. It's, because I decided to start streaming at 8 on Sunday. So it's actually time for the normal stream. So I guess we will do our New York time games. This wasn't the normal stream? No, that's why I started 2 hours early. I did this yesterday. I streamed for two and a half hours of spooky stuff, and then I came back at 9 and did my normal streams. What am I gonna do? Horror games? No, I'm too much of a baby to do horror games. I will hurt my throat from screaming, and my neighbors won't appreciate it. Nah, this is watching news on YouTube and playing New York Times and then playing Uma Musume after that. Fears to fathom ironbark. Look out. Good content. I used to put ironbark in my fireplace. It burns very hot. You like the spooky theme? Yeah, we can look at more scary stuff after we do the games. Play scary maze game. Why does everyone want me to be scared? I'm a massive sook. I'm a massive scaredy cat. Why do you all want to torture me? Well, I'm gonna do the New York Times first, and then I'll think about such a switch up from Death Valley to Horse Girls. But look, I am a woman of varied interests, okay? I am a three-dimensional woman. Have I played many horror games? I have played a few really old ones, but I haven't played one in like 10 years. I really don't like jump scares. Those are the things that get me. The jump scares are what traumatizes me. So look, we're gonna do could do spooky comedy. It's not 3 though, it's 10 USD. Yeah, I just paid $3,000 for a new PC, so I think I'm not gonna spend money for a bit on streaming until I start making money. When I get 75 average Twitch viewers, then I will become a Twitch partner, and that will be good. Yeah, I had to buy a new PC, Crystal, because my old one was a potato and it didn't run anything. It kept on dying, so I had to fork out a lot of money and get a new one. 75 is a lot. Yeah, when I get 75 average viewers, then I will be able to become a Twitch partner, and then I'll probably get pushed a lot more by Twitch, because I think right now a lot of people can't find my stream. But You like hearing me scream? Yeah, but I live in an apartment, so I'm worried if I like scream, my neighbors are gonna get mad at me. My model fits my voice and personality. My model does actually look a bit like me. I don't have red eyes though, but like same color hair, same build kind of thing. You found me on TikTok? Yeah, I've been trying to promote myself on TikTok and YouTube Shorts because it seems to be the only way really to find an audience, because Twitch doesn't really promote any new streamers. Oh, is my voice too loud? Oh, you mean when I scream? Yeah, Twitch doesn't care for newcomers. It doesn't seem like they do. Anyway, I'm going to do the spelling bee, and I will consider doing some more spooky things after I do the spelling bee. But I'm going to do the spelling bee. All right. So we have the letter O, the letter A, the letter E, the letter T, the letter M, the letter N, and we have to use the letter G. Gate. Gamut? That's a word, right? Not spelled like that, it's not. Not a word. How do you spell gamut? Game. Game is a good one. Oh, that's how you spell it. I'm dumb. Nope, that's not how you spell it either. Eggnog? Yeah, it's American. It'll probably take eggnog. Magnate? Like a mining magnate? Like Gina Reinhardt? That's a word. I still think gamut is a word. God damn it. Oh, we can have Goon. Goon of Fortune, my favorite game. I was saying this to my friend the other day. I was saying that you probably have to be a millionaire to play Goon of Fortune now, because only rich people have a backyard now. And so if you own a Hills hoist to play Goon of Fortune, that probably means that you're a millionaire. Do I have any plan to switch to Kick? I am multi-streaming. So at the moment I'm streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and not that type of goon, Crystal. Goon is like wine in like a box, like box wine. In Australia, we call box wine goon. Yeah. Management? Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, game over. Goon of Fortune is when we where we tie a bag of goon, like wine, when we tie a bag of goon to a washing line, and then everyone stands around the washing line and we spin it around, and whoever the goon sack lands on has to drink the goon, and that's called Goon of Fortune. And it used to be lower socioeconomic people such as myself, but now only rich people have backyards in Australia. You have to be like a multi-millionaire to own a house with a backyard. So I think it's like for rich people now. Or do a shoey. Yeah, only rich people have shoes now. Only they can do shoeys. Try to tag. I don't know. Fictional sports icon with a statue by the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Loosen as laces. Trigger for a werewolf's transformation. The moon? Moon. It's freezing. I don't know. Table tidbit. Pay homage to. Driver, Cooper, or Butler. Poisonous part of a dart frog. Needle opening is an eye. Eye of a needle. Ice or brew? Yeah, it's probably ice. It's freezing. Let's call it ice. Loosen as laces. Don't know. Table tidbit. Untie? Oh yeah, that works. Loosen as laces, untie. Driver, Cooper, or Butler? Pour down his skin? Oh, poisonous skin on the frog. Okay. Fictional sports icon with a statue by the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Table tidbit. Two. Oh, honor spelled the American way. Pay homage to. Okay, that means we got some things wrong, but that's okay. So that would be brr then. Which isn't a word, but okay. Could this be motor? Driver, Cooper, or Butler? Could that be motor? Try to tag. 6. What is Chase? Which one is Chase? What? Oh, Chase. One, try to tag. Chase. I was like not thinking. I was thinking of graffiti tags and like tags on clothing. You're gonna head out? All right, Crystal. See ya. Have a good one. Actor. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Come back. Oh, Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa. That's who it was. That's the fictional sports person. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, ADD. Back to puzzle. Legends. Alright. I think everyone here knows the rules to this. We've got cluster, we've got pool, we've got pulp, we've got biopic, we've got weight, we've got science, we've got juice, we've got collect, we've got group, we've got calcium, we've got fan, historical, concentrate, sway, chemise, and triglyceride. I feel like that's going to go with calcium. Concentrate. I feel like that's going to be a sciencey one. YouTube might have been busy tonight. Oh yeah, there's so many people were watching from YouTube. I think from America. I think 5's probably a good time to stream for us. I definitely will stream next week around 4 or 5 with the spooky stuff because it seems like a good time to hop on. Seems like a good time to hop on because YouTube hours are hard to farm to get that sweet monetization, you know. Pulp, juice. Pulp, juice, concentrate. Wait, calcium, pool, fan, cluster, group. Nah, maybe not. Oh, for the rules? You have to crash as past your bedtime. Oh, good night, Bailey. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, yeah. So for anyone watching on YouTube that doesn't normally watch, there's 4 themes and we don't know what there are. And we have to find groups of 4 words that might constitute a theme. And that's how you play. Yeah, YouTube is tough because the corpos are on at peak times. Yeah, 100%. Well, good night, Bailey. I hope you have a good sleep. Triglyceride. I feel like pulp and juice are gonna be together somehow. Boop, 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 boop. Now I have freaking Rocky theme song in my head. It's never good. Maybe if I just keep on shuffling, I will find something. Concentrate, juice, pulp. I feel like these are juice. I feel like there's a juice category. Pulp, juice, concentrate. My science dudes, what is triglyceride? Would that be found in juice? Yeah, it was good having you here, Bailey. We really enjoyed it. Is a fatty acid. Do you think it would be in juice? Would it be in juice? Maybe an avocado juice. Yeah, that doesn't sound nice. All right, I'm probably barking up the wrong tree with that anyway. Historical is a type of movie. Biopic is a type of movie. Science fiction is a type of movie. Nah, maybe not. Pulp and Science? They put calcium in orange juice? Oh, pulp and science. Yeah, pulp fiction, science fiction, biopic, and historical. Let's try that. No. Whoops. Whoopsie. Pulp fiction is a thing, yeah. We do like some Quentin Tarantino. We do like Quentin Tarantino. He was at the Sun Theatre in Yarraville about 10 years ago. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. This is on my side of Melbourne. He just rocked up here. Sun Theatre. Here we go. This was 2016. This is right. This is like not far from where I live. Quentin Tarantino, Samuel L. Jackson, and Kurt Russell visit Melbourne screening of The Hateful Eight. This is like a tiny little Art Deco movie theater near Footscray, and they just rocked up there. Imagine that. Cinema goers watching new film The Hateful Eight at a suburban Melbourne theatre were treated to a surprise visit by the film's directors and stars on Monday evening. Around 8 p.m, director Quentin Tarantino and actors Samuel L. Jackson and Kurt Russell walked into Yarraville's Sun Theatre for the end of the film's 5 p.m. session. Is there a photo? Did anyone take... Why wouldn't you take a photo? Anyway, imagine that. Imagine that. And people saying nothing happens in the western suburbs. How rude. How freaking rude. Cluster, collect. Cluster, collect, pool, group. Oh, cluster, collect, group. Hang on. I think I'm onto something. Cluster, collect, group. Okay, what else could go there? Chemise, fan, sway. Concentrate. Amass. Yay, we did it. But yeah, imagine just like being in Yarraville, you know, maybe you're at the railway having a beer and Quentin Tarantino and Kurt Russell from the movie Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. I loved that. I love that movie so much. It's a silly movie. I just love it. It's just so great. Just 80s movies are so dumb. I love them. The railway is a nice pub. We went there for a birthday. Yeah, Yarraville is like a rich people's suburb now. It's like very gentrified. It's very nice. The side of Footscray near Seddon is starting to get really gentrified too. It's starting to like, Footscray's starting to have like one side that's, you know, still a bit dicey, and then the other side that's like super nice. With a massive development, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in Footscray. I like Footscray. There's a lot of good food in Footscray. I do enjoy it. There's lots of good Ethiopian restaurants in Footscray. It's yummy. They're putting up like 12 skyscrapers. Yeah, they are, but we do a lot. Some of it's social housing, which is really, really good because there's definitely a massive shortage of social housing in Victoria. So It's weight, pull, sway, and fan. Weight, pull. Nope. You thought it would be a gravity thing? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. This game, like, I don't know. I feel like the New York Times definitely takes liberties with the meaning of words sometimes. Or the spelling. Pulp instead of weight. All right, we got nothing else. Let's try hope. Hope, pull, sway, and fan. Is that what we're going with? Why not? We got nothing else. No. Okay, we got one life left. We're gonna fail this. We are definitely failing this. Juice. Pulp. I still feel like juice pulp. Oh, is Hyperbovian onto something? Did he crack the code? Historical pulp, science, and fan. Oh, fan fiction. Well, we were on the right track. We just messed up. We did what were we doing? We were doing one of them. Fan fiction, science fiction, historical fiction. Pulp fiction. Oh, we were putting biopic in there, weren't we? Kinds of fiction. We were thinking of like kinds of movies, but this kind of fiction, that makes sense. Because biopic is typically like a biography of someone, so it's not fiction. I mean, they take a lot of liberties, but it's technically not fiction, I guess. People, so maybe we can look at pull, sway, weight. You know when like someone has pull, like influence, they have pull, they have sway, they carry weight. Actually, maybe not. A chemise is a women's nightdress? Yeah, it is. They carry juice? I mean, technically, if you put any human into a juicer, you could get out some liquid. I mean, he got juice. Sounds like something a rapper would say. Yeah, let's try it. We got nothing else. Influence. I was along the right. I was right. I just never have heard of somebody having juice. Calcium, chemise, biopic, triglyceride. Okay, well, we got there in the end. Don't know why that don't know why that was the answer, but apparently it was the answer, so here you go. Makes absolutely no sense. But hey. Apparently I'm not smart enough to work at the New York Times, so what would I know? Starts with the nickname of a STEM class. Okay, sure. Oh, chemistry for chemise. I got you. I got you. Oop, the Nazis. Did the Nazis march again? Or is this the same march that they did before? We sure got some active Nazis. Let's see what they're doing. What are you doing?
First this morning, pressure is mounting on the Victorian government after 100 neo-Nazis stormed the Melbourne CBD in a pop-up protest on Saturday morning.
Yeah, let's go live to Today Melbourne reporter Kiara Parker. Kiara, what's been proposed?
No, it's those Aryan genes because we don't have the Ubermensch genes, Delta. So we don't understand. If we had the Ubermensch genes, like these are, you know, peak specimens of men. Who has this much time? Why are they? Do they have jobs? I mean, they obviously don't. If they didn't have jobs, they wouldn't have been radicalized into a far right ideology. But oof. Oh, this reminds me of a story. I don't want to throw my best friend under the bus, but geez, she made me so mad one day. This was when we were like 18 or 19. So she used to hang out with these metalheads from Mount Druitt. This is my best friend. She used to hang out with these metalheads from Mount Druitt. And one of them, I went to a barbecue at one of their houses, and this guy had like Nazi tattoos on his leg or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's fucked up. Anyway, she's messaging me like the morning after like this barbecue, because we went to this barbecue and then we went like into the city because it was like Saturday. We went into the city to go clubbing, and she's like, oh, my friend, I almost said his name, my friend blah 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 thinks you're really hot. And this guy was like in a bikie gang as well. She's like, oh, he thinks you're really, really hot. She's like, oh, I know he's got like some Nazi tattoos. And I was like, almost said her name too. I gotta remember not to dox my friend. She's like, oh, I know he's got Nazi tattoos and blah, 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 but he's a really nice guy. And I was like, excuse me? I'm like, if I had have known there were like weird people there, and I'm like, just tell him that I'm Slavic and he won't want to date me anyway. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, open a history book, because my best friend is like, her parents are Scottish. So she's like blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, like very Aryan. I am very, well, in her defense, Delta, she got suspended from school at a really young age and entered the workforce at a really young age. And I honestly don't think she fully understood the history, right? She's a lot better now. Like, she wouldn't hang out with people like that now. I'm not like trying to defend it, but and I just said to her like, yeah. I just said to her, look, like just tell her that just tell him that I'm, you know, Slavic and he won't want to date me. Because like people can't really tell what my ethnic heritage is. Like, a lot of people even think that I'm like half Asian, which is very, very weird. But yeah, it was so bizarre. Like, it was just very bizarre that she would think that I would be okay with that. And I didn't know like whose place I was going to, right? I didn't know like whose house I was going to or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, this isn't cool. Because there are some people in the metal scene that are like very, you know, Nazi-esque and like do have like those ideas. But yeah. It I was like, what the heck? Why? Like, in what universe? In what universe? It's like, oh yeah, just excuse the SS tattoos. Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you, Dal. Thank you.
Well, the Premier promised anti-masking and anti-hate symbol laws 8 months ago, but the Jewish Community Council of Victoria says the government must act now after confronting scenes in the city yesterday morning when more than 100 neo-Nazis dressed in all black, wearing masks and carrying a sign which read, "White man, fight back," marched through the CBD. Police virtually powerless, watching on and driving alongside the group until they eventually dispersed. No arrests were made during what police said was a pop-up protest. The group has since posted a video message online. Take a look.
People say that Melbourne is the left-wing capital of Australia. It's becoming...
He has a private school accent. He has a private school accent. Listen to him. Listen to him talk. Channel 9 and Channel 7 give them free advertisements. Yeah, but also, look, these people in the video, like, they're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their livelihood. They're going to, you know, most Australians, like, overwhelmingly, like 99.999999999, like, I could go on with the nines, you know, are going to think these guys are absolute flogs. And they're going to, you know, they're going to be ostracized from society, and they're going to lose their capacity to earn a living. And I think it is good that we know who these people are, so we can stay the F away from them, and they can face, you know, the social repercussions of their stupid fucking, like, dumb shit, dead shit actions, right? But don't you reckon he's got a private school accent? He sounds like very, ooh. Or maybe I just... Melbourne people do kind of sound a little bit posh, though. I don't know. It's probably just my...
the Nazi capital of Australia. The police just had to accept our presence. They just simply have to accept the fact that we want to march and that we will march.
Jacinta Allen says police will soon have the power to unmask these cowards when anti-vilification laws come in. Also, there are reports this group hopes to form a federal political party. It's understood the National Socialist Network met at a caravan park in Balan yesterday with nearly 250 members in attendance.
Police powers are under scrutiny this morning after a group of masked neo-Nazis marched through Melbourne's city centre under police escort yesterday. Let's bring in today's talkers. Nationals leader David Littleproud in Ryford in Queensland, and Gus Wallen from Wide World of Sports here with me in studio. Morning to you both. David, to you first. Police were largely powerless to disperse this group in Melbourne. How concerning is that?
Yeah, look, you just got to ask the question what the Allen government's done down there. They promised laws 8 months ago around demasking these protesters. I mean, protesting in this country is a right. It's been a hard-earned right. That over 100,000 Australians have lost their lives defending the principle of our free speech, and many 100,000 more are still putting uniforms on to protect that principle. But if you believed in your cause, wouldn't you have the courage to show your face? These gutless cowards that are running around and perpetrating hate in our community need to be squared up, and they shouldn't force the police to have to allow it because of a quirk of law where state governments can lean into. We're not picking...
Yeah, but like a third of a million people in the middle of winter while it was pissing down rain marched across the Harbour Bridge. And what, there's like probably at least half of those Nazi people are feds. It just goes to show, like, you know, what the Australian public's views are on this type of stuff. Hello, Genus Lubed. I'm not saying your name. I just realized what I was saying. Rolling out the anti-protest agitators and media campaign. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I feel like the media would be able to call... I feel like especially Sky News is probably saying that both of these groups are anti-Semitic, right? They're probably saying that the National Socialist Network is anti-Semitic. And they're probably saying that, well, they are, Sky News is very, very, very adamant that, like, every single Arab Australian is, like, some type of, like, sleeper agent and yada, yada, yada. Like, they are the main, Sky News are the main ones, like, perpetrating, like, propagating, like, just the racist, like, anti-Islamic, like, sentiment in Australia. They're such flogs. They're, like, such absolute dum-dums. But he goes on their show all the time, and now he's like, oh, I am shocked there are racists in Australia, when all I do is, like, go on shows that, like, outwardly, like, tout, like, great replacement conspiracy theories and stuff like that. It's like, come on.
Religions here. In this country, it doesn't matter your religion. You've got a right to worship and to do that safely. And you shouldn't have people perpetrating hate against someone's belief, religious belief in this country. That's not the country I grew up in. That's not the one we should leave behind. And I just hope the Victorian government gets on with the job of changing these laws quicker. And anything else, if we have to be agile, we should, to make sure we stamp out this hatred in our society.
Yeah, on those laws, Gus, anti-vilification laws come into effect next month. How important is it to unmask these people?
Oh, of course, and I can't believe that it's not the case now. Why are we waiting another month? Surely we can sort of strike some sort of law that we can sort of fix it up now. But David's absolutely right. You know, if I want to stand up for something, I'll stand up, you know, proudly with my face shown and use my words. If you're gutless enough to have to hide, why are you hiding? Are you that far? Are you that much into it that you think that you're right? Why are they putting a mask on? I imagine because they don't want to be noticed. If you don't want to be noticed, what's the point of actually doing the stuff that you're doing in there at the moment? So I just hate it. Melbourne seems to be in a bit of a crisis at the moment, and the Victoria government seem to be too. They've got to get on the front foot here. There always seems to be something that's happening that's really un-Australian.
Well, there are fears this morning that Victoria is quickly becoming the hate state after more than 100 neo-Nazis rallied through the streets of Melbourne.
The extremist group of masked marchers boasted their biggest crowd yet, with calls now for the state government to step up and stamp out the behaviour. For more, we are joined by Shadow Police Minister David Southwick in Melbourne. David, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be with you.
How concerning is this?
Very concerning. As you said, our great state has become the hate state, and that is because we've got governments that are failing to act, extremists that are literally being able to get away with whatever they like, and we're seeing it, whether it's from the far right or from the far left, whether it's burning flags, targeting people in their businesses just because they're owned by Jewish business owners. And these Nazis, only 8 months ago, held a banner up on the steps of Parliament calling for Jews to go and no charges. So we've got people being intimidated. Many people in Victoria don't feel safe going to the city on a Friday night.
The city, Melbourne CBD is perfectly safe. I'm just going to say, like, if I saw these dickheads walking down the street, I would not be scared. I would just yell out, small pee-pee, small doodle, you have a small willy, and then run away so they don't get me. Yeah, the restaurant owner isn't just Jewish. He's the spokesperson for the GHF. Well, yeah, he was targeted because he's a piece of shit, not because he's Jewish. You know, he just happened to be a piece of shit who was Jewish. So... And, you know, it was more that he was Israeli. It wasn't because he practices the Jewish faith.
Because of this kind of intimidation that we're seeing from extremists.
Okay, what would you do? There's an election in Victoria in November next year. What would you and your government do? Offer a solution.
Yeah, firstly, we're the only state in Australia that doesn't have a permit system, so we need one of those.
Do permits work, though, for neo-Nazis?
Yeah, well, see, if these Nazis don't actually comply with police, that should be a red flag. And on top of that, hand in glove, we need stronger move on.
I would say the fact that there's Nazis organizing would be the red flag, mate. I would say that would be the red flag, for sure. Sure, Lispy Larry, please continue. Please continue to enlighten us. You know, acting like, you know, the Liberal Party hasn't, you know, slowly been, gaining votes of like these disenfranchised, like indoctrinated into the far right, like young men. Yeah, definitely have not been. Although I guess One Nation's probably been capitalizing off them the most. But then, you know, they essentially always side with the Liberal Party. So, you know, same at the end of the day, really.
Laws. These were laws which we used to have. And what that enables police to do is to give in this case, Nazis an order to move on and if not be arrested. And then thirdly, what I would do is ensure we have mask laws to unmask these thugs. Again, this was promised 8 months ago and we're seeing nothing. They're gutless cowards, these people, and they need to be unmasked. That would certainly stop a lot of them from coming together and gathering. And again, whether it's the far left or the far right, there's a common thread here. They hate people and their hate should absolutely stop. And the only way to do that is to have strong laws to combat them.
I think we're in agreement that strong laws are important. Is there a way, though, David, where we can reach out to these people and engage with them in a productive way?
I wouldn't be engaging with these individuals, but what they do is they do prey on vulnerable people and try and get them to join their groups.
Like, de-radicalization, it can be effective. You can definitely reach out to people. I've definitely had very productive conversations and friendships with people. I think the funny Aussie is streaming. Am I fun? You mean I'm funny because I'm funny looking? That's not very nice. Pseudo mastics. Funny, haha. Real funny looking. Yeah. What was I saying? Went off on a tangent. Flop. My train of thought is gone. But yeah, I think not writing people off completely because, you know, they've made some mistakes and they've gone down a wrong path. Like, you know, there's a certain point that you cross, and I think, you know, if you engage in certain activities, you've probably gone over a line where, you know, you're irredeemable. Like if you engage in like racially based violence and things like that, obviously, like, you probably don't deserve a second chance. But if you're just, you know, if you feel disenfranchised for whatever reason from society, which a lot of young men do, and, you know, you find like, oh, you feel like you belong with this bunch of like dickheads that happen to be neo-Nazis. It sounds stupid, but some people don't have much hope in their lives, that they don't have much going on. And instead of, it's a failure of capitalism, it's a failure of their parents, mainly, I would say. Also capitalism, but I would say probably their parents. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, like, I've definitely been able to influence dudes that I know. You remember browsing 4chan heaps as a kid and you almost fell down the alt-right pipeline in your youth? Oh yeah, 4chan, because everybody on 4chan is really funny and witty. And first of all, you're just reading it and laughing, right? And yeah, it is so easy to, you know, to get on the jokes. And then, you know, you're doing it in jest at first. And then the next thing you know, yeah, it's 100% like a pipeline for sure. It can happen really, really easily. And I think we always need to give people a little bit of grace and like help to, you know, come back to reality a little bit. But yeah, I've had really productive friendships and conversations with like young men, and I've been able to, you know, talk to them. And yeah, I just think like a lot of young men don't care about material outcomes, only feeling included. Yeah, they'll happily live in squalor with the boys. Yeah, 100%. So many people just feel disenfranchised from society and hopeless about their future. And that's like something that we need to address, because we don't want people seeking out like a sense of belonging with people like this. It's like a social issue that we need to address.
Victoria has had 95 protests since October 7th. Again, it's fine to protest, but on top of that, we're seeing a group of individuals burning Australian flags, targeting Jewish business owners, going to the National Gallery and targeting the gallery simply because Jewish donors have supported them. There is no place for that kind of behaviour, yet this week government has allowed all of that to happen. Permits, stronger move on laws, and masking powers would give the police the powers that they need. Our Victoria Police are doing their job with one arm tied behind their back, and seeing those shocking images only the other day of police what appeared to be escorting these Nazis because they are powerless. Victoria has become the lawless state because we don't have the powers to be able to have consequences for these people that deliberately try to intimidate Victorians simply because they don't fit their mould.
Jacinta Allen is the Premier. Is she weak? Is Anthony Carbine's, the Police Minister, weak?
Yeah, well, again, all we hear is words.
Yeah, you see videos of police brutality all the time, like when they're caught on their own body cams bashing a mentally ill person, or they're caught on CCTV bashing like someone. Like, Yeah, the poor police, they're just poor little guys. It's not like they have capsicum spray and batons and guns and you're just little guys. They're just powerless. Oh, and tasers. That's because VicPol will always defend neo-Nazis. Well, it kind of seems that way. They definitely seem to be a lot more ready to use violence on like pro-Palestinian protesters than they are, you know, with these dickheads.
Been hearing words for ages. We've been told that we're going to have stronger hate laws, yet they don't come into play until September. The Premier came out and said we're going to have these masking laws, but they'll come out after the hate laws. If the government was serious, Parliament sits on Tuesday. These should be the first things that the government does.
What?
Let's bring in the mask laws next week. Let's bring these stronger vilification laws next week. Let's make sure that there is no place for these Nazis. There are consequences for them. Victoria shouldn't be the place that has conferences for Nazis. We should be having them absolutely booted out of Victoria, and the only way that can happen is with stronger laws.
All right, David, while we've got you, there's also a push coming from the Libertarian Party to give residents in Victoria the right to forcefully fight back against home intruders. Are you on board with this?
I need to see more detail, but what I would say is we shouldn't have to surrender and have Victorians have to take the law into their own hands because we don't have enough police support. We're 2,000 police short in Victoria. Police are being reactive and not proactive. And again, we need the resources, we need the boots on the ground, and Victorians should not have to take the law into their own hands simply because we have a police that aren't properly supported to be able to deal with it themselves. Also, stronger bail laws. Again, many of these people that are committing these crimes are back on the streets literally after committing them. So stronger laws, more police powers and more boots on the ground, that would go a long way to ensure Victorians can feel safe.
David Southwick, thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure.
What a strange man. Neo-Nazis are valuable to fascists? Well, yeah, they are very useful. They are very useful. You don't know, do I remember there were small Saturday protests a few months ago? Yeah, I do remember that. Mass protests erupt in Tel Aviv as hostage families. Oh no, look at this tiger. The oldest cave system in Australia. I wonder if that's Jenolan Caves. Oh, this is terrifying. Not about that. Why are Asian ghosts so scary? Japan and Korea make the best horror movies, I swear. They're so terrifying. Yeah, those guys with the loudspeakers on wheels every Saturday, they were neo-Nazis. Oh, were they? I didn't even hear what they were saying. Honestly. When I hear people yelling, like, it's probably a trauma response from my childhood, but I just turn my brain off. La, 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 la. Yeah, when I hear loud noises, my brain just goes, nope, let's dissociate. And I just do that. It's, yeah, it helps. It helps. And they were allowed to walk around and block tram lines and say racist shit on the speaker. He's uncharismatic. Oh yeah, most of those guys have no social skills, right? And I think it is a lot of like, not saying that people on the spectrum are Nazis, don't get it twist, but I'm saying that like people that maybe are socially awkward or have a lot of social anxiety seem to be particularly vulnerable to those groups, right? Because they'll be like, oh mate, we don't care if you're a bit weird, we're all a bit weird, like, oh, you're white, so we like you, like, come and hang out with us. It's yeah, so you probably will find that a lot of them are weird and socially anxious weirdos. Pardon me, I'm just taking some Panadol. I have really, really bad joint pain. I went to the gym last night, like at about 12:30 a.m. and yeah, I don't think it was a good idea. Boop, 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 boop. The 9 haunted tombs. A nice article regarding Palestinian recognition. All right, let's have a look. Home Affairs Tony Burke. All right. There is precedent to recognize countries under terrorist occupation, minister says. Leg day or arm day? I did both. I did some rows, some seated rows. I did some hack squats, and I did some hip thrust, and I did some chest press. So I guess, you know, I did a little bit of arms and chests, and a lot of booty, and a little bit of legs. Because mainly I use a hack squat to like target glutes and like thighs, I guess. But yeah, it works out a lot of. Hip thrust, that's how you know I'm a girl in real life. Yeah. I think when girls started going to gyms, a lot of people got in the hip thrust machine because you only ever see girls using it. You never see anyone else. But the reason why I use it is because I can't squat, right? I can't, because of my SLE and my rheumatoid arthritis, it's really hard for me to put pressure on my legs. The most I can sort of do is like with the hack squat. So that's what I do. But I did take a while off from the gym, so I'm just kind of building back up the strength that I had when I stopped working out. You can't do hip thrusts in public. It does look a little bit sus. I will say. All right, let's go back to the serious article. Now I'm just thinking about everyone humping the air. You tried it once and went, yeah, no thanks. Yeah. Look, for me, like I'm very, very, very petite, and the only place that I really have where I really store weight is like my hips and bum. So I always want to like target them, and I like to have like toned arms and a toned tummy. So I try and do that. And when you have like autoimmune disease, it's really important to lift weights if you can, because like with bone density it really helps. And my rheumatologist also says like strong muscles like support your bones and joints, so it's good to have like that you know, that protection. So it is really good, and especially for bone density for women as well, because women are really prone to osteoarthritis. So you gotta do what you can out there. You gotta try your best. All right, I'm gonna start again. All right, guys, we're going in for the article reading. I feel like when when you have to read in front of the class, or you get asked to read. There is precedent to recognize countries under terrorist occupation, minister says. The Home Affairs Minister says there is precedent for Australia to recognise countries occupied by terrorist forces, even as the federal government maintains Hamas can play no role in a future Palestinian state. Australia has not followed France, the United Kingdom... Oh, I said France like a fancy present. France, the United Kingdom and Canada in a commitment to move to recognise Palestine at the United Nations General Assembly in September. These nations have stipulated their endorsement of a Palestinian state is conditional on Hamas playing no role in its governance, a position the federal government also holds. However, speaking on Sky News, Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke said there had been cases in the past in which Australia maintained relations with nations even while terror groups had controlled them. There have frequently been countries where part of that nation has been occupied by a terrorist group and we haven't ceased to recognise the country, Mr. Burke said. Both Syria and Iraq had a long period where parts of those countries were being occupied, and realistically controlled by ISIS. It didn't stop us from recognizing and having diplomatic relations with those countries themselves. There's a fair bit of precedence on this. In the same interview, Mr. Burke said Hamas was a terror group that stood condemned and which had caused unspeakable harm to Israelis and Palestinians. Hamas has controlled Gaza since 2007, when it took over the Strip shortly after defeating rival faction Fatah in the final elections held in Gaza. The Fatah-led Palestinian Authority exercises partial control in the West Bank, though it is also administered by Israel. In a joint statement yesterday, the foreign ministers of Australia, Germany, Italy, New Zealand, and the UK said they were united in their commitment to implementing a negotiated two-state solution as the only way to guarantee both Israeli and Palestinians could live side by side in peace. A political resolution based on a negotiated two-state solution requires the total demilitarization of Hamas and its complete exclusion from any form of governance in the Gaza Strip, where the Palestinian Authority must have a central role, the statement read. Coalition frontbencher says difficult to extradite Hamas from two-state solution. Shadow Home Affairs Minister Andrew Hastie said the prospect of a two-state solution that excluded Hamas was deeply unrealistic. Hamas still enjoy widespread grassroots support among the Palestinian people, Mr. Hastie told Sky News. He pointed to polling by the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research, which operates out of Ramallah in the West Bank. Its most recent poll of 1,200 people in the West Bank and Gaza, conducted in September last year, found a moderate drop in support for Hamas and the favorability of its 7th of October terrorist attacks against Israel, though about a third expressed support for Hamas and more than half still believed its 2023 offensive against Israel was a correct decision. We saw last year in Beijing Hamas and Fatah meet, facilitated by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, and signed the Beijing Declaration, which committed to a government of national unity, Mr. Hastie said. So in fact, the war in Gaza has brought Hamas and Fatah together. In order for a two-state solution to work, you have got to exclude Hamas, and that will be very difficult. Is the bone density for women related to low iron? I believe it's related to hormones. I believe it's related to hormonal changes as women get older, and something to do with the way like the endocrine system affects calcium. But yeah, we can have a look at that. Basically just dickheads saying they won't recognize Palestine unless Hamas magically disappears. Yeah, and what then? Like, we just allow an entire people to get wiped off the face of the map. Like, a perfect world doesn't exist. We have to do something now. Can't wait until there's optimal conditions and you get everything that you want. That's very, very, very unrealistic. But let's see. Why do women get osteoarthritis? Yeah, hormonal differences, joint anatomy. Women are more likely to develop osteoarthritis than men, especially after age 50. This is due to a combination of factors, including hormonal differences, joint anatomy, and lifestyle choices. So research suggests that hormone fluctuations, particularly the decline in estrogen during menopause, play a significant role in increasing a women's risk. Additionally, women may be more prone to certain types of joint injuries. Anyway, what the doctors always say to women is, as you start getting closer to your 30s, because apparently your bone density starts to really decrease after age 30. So what doctors will always say to you, if you're in your 20s, when you go to the doctors, they'll say to you like, oh, make sure like you're drinking lots of calcium and to start doing weights, you know, when you're in your 20s, so then when you hit 30, you can sort of maintain your bone density. But yeah, I was pretty sure it was related to the endocrine system. So apparently it is. So I didn't say something wrong. That's always good. Estrogen is a very powerful growth stimulator. Yeah, it is. It is. Let's watch a video from Al Jazeera. Excuse me. Oh, I've been streaming for 3 hours. Look at me go. Look at me go.
The UN Security Council is set to hold a rare weekend session later on Sunday to discuss Israel's plan to seize Gaza City. Nations around the world have condemned the...
Hey, Joey. Good to see you.
...plan, saying it will only lead to more bloodshed. Let's speak to Adnan Hayajner, a professor of international relations and US foreign policy at Qatar University, joining us live now from Amman. Good morning to you. So this emergency meeting is being held, a rare one. What do you think?
Pseudomastics. I stream on Kick, I stream on YouTube, and I stream on Twitch. Primarily Twitch is like the main one, and then the others are, you know, my multi-streams.
The outcome will be, and is it going to yield any results at all?
I think it will be more of the same as previous meetings. There will be a lot of talks, a lot of condemnation of Israel behavior, and there will be maybe some resolutions as the previous resolutions. And at the end of the day, all of these resolutions and condemnations and outcry, the public and even some new nation condemning what Israel is doing in Palestine, in the West Bank and in Gaza. It will has no effect on Israel behavior. It will not deter Israel.
Emergency meeting of the UN, I called it. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone wants that blood on their hands, right? I don't think anyone wants that blood on their hands. It's such an untenable position, like that they have to. It's gotten to the point where they have to intervene, or they to risk like being complicit in a genocide. And even if they're just doing it to save face and to save their own reputations, I mean, I don't really care why they're doing it, as long as it gets done, as long as there's recognition of a Palestinian state, and then hopefully some type of military intervention to render aid to the people in Gaza, because that's the only way the IDF is going to let it through, is if we literally storm the beaches. With the cargo in hand, or literally have our defense force, you know, commandeer the aid trucks and drive it in ourselves. And if the IDF want to start firing at UN peacekeepers, well, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to get mowed down, like, you know, return fire. Israel doesn't have the military force to fight off a combined US multi-country UN multi-nation UN peacekeeping force. They just don't. And it's you know, it's an offensive measure for humanitarian reasons. It's nothing to do with sovereignty. It's nothing to do with, you know, anything political. It's 100% just to prevent the starvation of a people. So it's 100% the time where the UN should intervene.
From the continuation of genocides in the Palestinian area.
Now, Societies around the world, people are protesting in larger numbers. I mean, we saw a report earlier as far as Latin America against their own government policies towards Israel, calling for sanctions to be put on Israel. Why do you think the Western world in particular isn't putting enough pressure on Israel to end the war, but also to stop Israel's ongoing occupation?
I think the public is different from the governments. But if you watch the governments, all of the governments all around the world been watching what Israel has been doing for the past 22 months, and they have not done anything but only rhetoric, only condemnation, only words. And they did not bear any cost at Israel's behavior. The only country that has an influence on Israel is the United States, and even the United States is not doing anything to stop that. The public opinion all around the world, as I think, is very positive improvement to support finally the Palestinian cause and the Palestinian rights, and to see what Israel is doing in the Palestinian area, namely in Gaza and the West Bank. But you have to take into consideration even the public opinion in the United States no longer can resist or maybe go on demonstrations against Israel behavior because of the Trump's policies of accusing the universities, accusing the people, accusing even a university professor of being anti-Semitic when it comes to support or to support the Palestinians, or maybe have an objective opinion about what's really happening, or maybe calling of stopping the starvation, the killing, the genocide that Israel is doing in Gaza.
Mr. Hayajne, I just wanted to point out some statements that we've been hearing from the US. You mentioned the US there already. It's effectively shrugged off Israel's plan to not just take over Gaza, but Netanyahu also declaring Israel's intent to take control of the whole of the Gaza Strip. Now, on Tuesday, Donald Trump, the US president, said it was pretty much up to Israel whether to fully occupy Gaza. And then when he was asked the following day whether he was giving Israel a green light, he instead shifted the conversation to US strikes on Iran. What are your thoughts now with the US position here?
I mean, that's why America's quote unquote allies. I mean, no one's actually an ally to America. We're just their little lapdogs that have to do whatever they say. It's not really an allyship. It's not really a friendship. But if collectively, like the United Kingdom, Ireland, the Canada, New Zealand, Australia, if we all form a bloc, we've got a lot of bargaining power to put pressure on the United States to in turn put pressure on Israel. That's the way we get things done. But alternatively, like, there's no way that America is going to be okay with Israel opening fire on British, Canadian, Australian, Kiwi troops. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. They'll have to get it. And I would love to see our countries form like a humanitarian coalition and just go in there. Let's get the Anzacs back together. Let's storm the beaches. Let's go. Let's do it.
I think my reading from the Trump stand is it's an implicit support for Israel and to Netanyahu to do whatever it finds, whatever it wants to do in Gaza. And I think he gave them the green light already before he came to the White Office, when he wants to transfer Gaza to an empty place, move all these people around outside Gaza. And I think this is the give hinted to Netanyahu to continue his policy, because Netanyahu, at the end of the day, well, what he's doing, he wants to stop the people. He wants to kick out the people out of Palestine. He is interested in relocating and transferring the Palestinians out of Gaza. And this is only just a continuation of what's been happening, I think, in Gaza and Palestine for the past decades. And it's a continuation no matter who's in power, Netanyahu or any other political party.
Mr. Hayajne, speaking about the US, Marco Rubio in an interview has blamed France's recognition of a Palestinian state for ending any chance of successful ceasefire talks. What does that tell you?
That he's an idiot?
No, the United States used to have a stand of 2 states, and they were supported.
You're gonna fall asleep during the stream, Joey. I'm not gonna stream for much longer because I started at 6, so it's all right. You more than likely won't miss much, mate. It'll, yeah. I know everyone's so tired on Sunday because you got to go to work tomorrow, so I'm just gonna, you know, start earlier, I think.
Supporting a 2-state solution. Now they are not talking about it anymore. I think they are adopting the solution, more economic piece, and they do not stop at this point. They also sanction any state with tariffs if they support.
Do I think these segments will make YouTube? I usually go back and listen, and if I've said anything like insightful or funny or something like that, I'll typically clip it. But I'm not really typically aware of what's coming out of my mouth. I'm just kind of like a weird ADD adult, you know, spewing out words kind of a chick. So, yeah, I typically, like, hindsight is like, oh, I'll put this up on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's kind of typically how it works. And I never know what's going to resonate with people either. Like, sometimes I think like, oh, this is really good, and it just gets no traction. And then other times, you know, I'll think, oh, something's a little bit dumb or whatever, and it resonates with heaps of people. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, you never really know what direction things are gonna take.
Or recognize the Palestinian states, and you can take.
Oh, Pseudo Mastix has moved over to the Twitch, people. We have a YouTube defector. Good to see you, mate. Welcome.
Into one example that already a recent one, when the United States raised the tariffs against Canada because of Canada's position of recognizing a Palestinian state. On, I think, the forthcoming meeting with the United Nations meeting in September.
Okay, thank you very much for your thoughts on all of this, Mr. Adnan Hayajna, Professor of International Relations.
Thank you.
Don't miss out on the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights.
Threat of annexation. We'll watch the ABC. We'll watch the good old ABC. I just need to go for like 2 minutes. I will be back real quick.
The families of Israeli hostages.
Whoops. Yep. Can you hear me now? Are we all good now? We should be good now. Yeah, everybody's sleepy tonight, I think. Everybody's sleepy. So I probably won't stream for that much longer. Probably a few more vids. Maybe won't do Horsey Girls tonight because I feel like everybody's heaps tired. I feel like everyone wants to go to bed, get hyped for work tomorrow morning because, it's amazing. It's amazing having to slave away at a job for 8 hours a day just so you can afford to eat. It's such a dumb system. I am still trying to win the lottery, and I will continue to try and win the lottery. And that is my plan. Either that or like make enough money streaming, because this is the easiest job in the world. Just sit here, talk shit, people listen. It's it's great. What could go wrong? All right, ABC. Were we watching Al Jazeera? Yeah, we just watched Al Jazeera. We like to watch all different types of news sources so we can kind of get an idea of what everybody from around the world is saying about a situation. Different perspectives. We like to hear some different perspectives.
Messages have urged fellow citizens to shut down the country to stop the government's plan to escalate the war in Gaza.
Now, all this comes days after Israel announced plans to re-invade Gaza City. Earlier, I spoke to Aaron David Miller, a former Middle East analyst and negotiator. Now, he's a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, and he says he's doubtful that Israel will mount a full invasion of Gaza.
I mean, the Israelis have accomplished one of their two goals since October 7th. They've hollowed out and undermined, if not destroyed, Hamas's capacity to function as a military organization with organized units, a command structure, with a capacity to rocket Israel, short and medium range rockets, let alone to mount a cross-border set of attacks that they did on October 7th. But Hamas exists as an insurgency, and insurgents in an area that is as densely populated as Gaza, with a tunnel system, which was estimated to be half the size of the New York City subway system, roughly 400 to 500 kilometers, gives Hamas an insurgent's advantage. They don't have to win the war. They simply have to survive. And since May, the Israelis have lost 50 soldiers.
See you, Pseudomastics. Yeah, have a good sleep, mate. Yeah, we'll hopefully see you around again.
Either in friendly fire incidents, a function of dealing in a crowded environment, IEDs, explosive devices, and ambushes. So that's the problem that the Israelis confront. And remember, they occupy right now 75% of Gaza, but the 25% that they don't occupy is where the bulk of Gaza's population reside. So the second goal that they've committed themselves to is the freedom for all the hostages. And of the 252 that were taken on October 7, alive and dead, taken to Gaza, 130 or more have been freed, largely, not largely, as a consequence of negotiations. So I think if this goes ahead, and by the way, I have serious doubts as to whether or not the Israelis will actually occupy, or as they put it, take over the entire Gaza Strip. I'm not even persuaded that they will mount the kind of attack and military operation in Gaza City. They've given the Gaza residents, and I don't think they've issued formal evacuation orders yet, 2 months before they would begin a significant military campaign. And I think Netanyahu, and certainly...
Yeah, logistically, it does seem very, very badly planned. It just seems like they haven't done any of the legwork to actually do that, unless like their aim is to literally just go in and finish the ethnic cleansing, hopefully before the rest of the world, gets to sorts out their shit and actually decides that they want to take some type of militaristic intervention And maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're trying to get the job done because, yeah, like he said, they haven't issued any evacuation orders or anything like that. So it is very scary. If they are planning an invasion and occupation, then they're obviously planning, you know, mass casualties, mass civilian casualties, because otherwise how would it be feasible? I mean, I'm no military strategist, I'm a social worker, but you know, I do have to, you know, plan things and organize things and deal with logistical, you know, problems in my everyday life, which most people do. It just doesn't seem. Well, the UN sets a date and Israel floors it. Yeah, that's 100% what I think has happened. I think this has been expedited. I think this was always the plan, but it's been expedited because Israel sees the day when UN peacekeepers or a coalition of countries setting up like a humanitarian militaristic like intervention is coming soon, probably coming hopefully, you know, within the next month or so. And that's my hope, because after that I'm afraid we might pass the point of no return in terms of people even being able to recover from, you know, from the famine that they've been enduring. But yeah, I 100% think, yeah, Israel was always going to do this. This was always the plan. Oh, hello, Saboteur of Destiny. You saw my shorts? Oh, awesome. Good to see you. Welcome.
The others would hope that the threat produces some urgency on the part of Hamas to go back to the negotiating table. Right. I also would point out that the President Trump's special envoy, Stephen Witkoff, the envoy...
See ya, Dango. Hope you have a good night.
Envoy Stephen Witkoff, the envoy for everything, Iran, Russia, Gaza, was reported to be meeting with Qatari officials in Ibiza, Spain, this weekend on talking about a comprehensive negotiated solution. So I'm still not persuaded that this is going to happen, that this massive Israeli military operation is going to happen.
You've just put there, outlined the kind of challenges that Israel will face if they were to mount this particular operation. But at the same time, if it was to happen, now the more...
Well, they're launching an offensive on a civilian population. Like they can't tell who these people are. Like, for all intents and purposes, any person that they're looking at in civilian clothes is a civilian. And well, we know what the IDF like to do to Palestinian civilians. So yeah, it's incredibly worrying. And I would like to see the UN get together, you know, post haste and sort this out. And you know, we don't even need the UN. Like, you know, we, especially the constitutional monarchies of King Charles III, you know, very close relationships going back, you know. Going back to colonial times, like we've got the UK, we've got Canada, we've got Australia, we've got New Zealand, all really good friends, have many, you know, a good century worth of fighting in wars together. We can potentially, you know, I mean, I don't doubt that the prime ministers of the nations I just mentioned, I don't doubt that we've all been on the back channels together, you know, away from the spying eyes of the Yanks, having conversations, working stuff out. But yeah, I would like, you know, I'm very, very, very anti-military intervention, but in this type of situation, when it would be to purely deliver aid. And look, the only way there would be any bloodshed is if the IDF decided to open fire on our defense forces, right? That would be the only time there would be any bloodshed. It would literally just be us commandeering trucks to make sure aid gets to where it needs to be facilitating the distribution of aid. And yeah, will we need guns to do that? I mean, it wouldn't hurt for us to have them. It would definitely mean that, you know, the IDF, they're not going to attack an Aussie with a rifle, you know. They typically only go for the Palestinian children throwing rocks, typically, I would say. Seems to be.
Conservative elements of his cabinet have already said that they want to annex this strip. The Prime Minister has said that's not the aim of it all, that the
yes, it
aim
is
to get rid of Hamas, of course, and then to hand over to an Arab force. But what sort of situation would have to unfold for Israel to justify annexing Gaza?
I don't think the annexation of Gaza is in the cards either. No, the problem here is that Benjamin Netanyahu, for political reasons, won't engage in rational, functional day.
Yeah, unfortunately, Saboteur of Destiny, 20 trucks a day is nowhere near enough for that many people. It's nowhere near enough. A lot of people are getting like very inadequate food or no food. It's yeah, it's pretty critical. And the organizations that are saying that they're delivering aid are Israeli organizations and American organizations. And what we do know from like impartial parties, like people from you know, third party humanitarian organizations, is that a lot of the aid isn't getting in, and the aid that is getting in isn't being distributed properly. So
after planning in Gaza. And that's why there's no strategy here and no defined end state.
You've been a Middle East negotiator. You know the players, you know this history, you know the issues that are involved here. I wonder if you've seen a time when there was an optimistic glimpse of a two-state solution, and perhaps what elements are needed to be in place for that to happen again.
You need three things. I've said this since Camp David in July of 2025. Number one, you need leaders who are masters of their political houses, not prisoners of their ideologies. Leaders who are more interested in doing things for their peoples rather than keeping their seats. Number two, you need an external.
yeah, you can suggest videos, Saboteur, you 100% can, although I'm probably not going to stick around for that much longer, maybe like another 20 minutes. So if you have something you want me to watch before I go, I'll 100% check it out.
Mediator that is willing and able not just to apply ample amounts of honey or incentives, but a mediator that's prepared to be tough, to apply vinegar if necessary as disincentives. And finally, you need a consensus on the end state. I continue to believe, even though many people think it's laughable, that the only way to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is to separate these two parties through a negotiation into something that resembles, for the Palestinians, a state of their own. The Israelis already have this. With those three things, Fauzi, you actually have a chance. But I would argue to you the 25 years since leaving government in 2003, last 25 years in the public conversation, you've never seen these three factors align. The sun, the moon, the stars have not come together, which is why, however long the odds, I continue to be hopeful that out there are leaders.
I think the Discord link isn't coming up in the Kick chat. Okay, thank you, Hyperbovian. Saw a video about cats. No, it's not there. Someone on YouTube doesn't like anime girls. Aw. That's weird that you would click on a stream with an anime girl if you don't like them. Some people are into that sadistic kind of self-torture, I guess, though. I saw a video I wanted to watch. I can't find it now. What would make Netanyahu respond? Kick up the bum, probably. That would probably do the trick. I saw this video. I want to see if I can find it again. This video is distressing, but it's about a cat torture ring. It's from news.com.au, so I'm assuming it's in Australia. I just want to see if we can recognize these dudes if we see them. And you know, just have a word. Just have a word with them. Just want to talk.
Consumers can commission the cat, the tools, and the tactics. What they're
No.
is pretty unthinkable. They're paying for the pleasure of watching animals suffer. These cat torture networks are basically an online underworld where people can access what's known as torture to order content. This means members can commission very sadistic acts of cat cruelty, and it means that torturers can be killing these animals for profit. Most of the content is filmed in China, where there are no laws against.
So we can't even go bash them. They're in China. We can't even go deal with them. Absolute sickos.
Animal cruelty. We also found evidence that the videos are now being sold and produced inside Australia.
The harrowing cases of animal cruelty recently discovered in Sydney involved
no!
victims, all found on different dates. They had been tortured extensively and to incomprehensible levels.
Oh my!
At the same time.
How could you do that to the kitty? Well, at least they're going to be dealt with harshly in Australia. I hope they get bashed in jail. I hope they get made somebody's girlfriend in jail.
Type of methods that are used and encouraged in the online Chinese torture groups.
These kinds of videos are typically consumed and created by young men aged between 16 and 24. Because the platforms are encrypted, it's hard to determine how many members they have. But screenshots we uncovered from inside the chats show more and more Australians.
Yeah, that's pathological. That's pathological. Like, how long before these people move on to humans? Like, that's 100% a sickness. That's 100% a sickness. That's not normal. That's not normal. These freaks are probably getting like some type of like sexual pleasure from watching animals get tortured too. It's always a sex thing with these freaks. Never forget. They're all fucking freaks. Yeah, today I abuse cats. Tomorrow I abuse people. Yeah, except people can punch you back though, can't they, mate? So...
joining. Consumers can commission the cat, the tools, and the tactics. And without getting too graphic, what they're coming up with is pretty unthinkable. Experts say they have a sexual fetish for animal cruelty, which is...
Uh-oh, I was right. I was right. Oh, absolute. I'm so glad I keep my cat inside. She's too precious to go out into the world.
known as zoo sadism. So what this means is they're paying for the pleasure of watching animals suffer.
They're increasing the parameters of their torture methods, and they're encouraging many individuals and groups overseas to carry out these crimes. Online groups are increasing, and some of these groups have hundreds of members, reaching to the thousands. We've seen torture groups spread to countries such as Turkey, Japan, the UK, America, and Australia. These networks are growing, and it was found in May of 2023 and May of 2024. A torture video was produced at approximately every 14.5 hours. But
What?
by February of this year, the data revealed a new torture video was released out of China every 2.5 hours on average, around the clock. So that means there's been a 510% increase in torture produced there. They cause extreme pain and psychological torture to cats, but this...
If they catch them, they're probably preventing murders. Oh, 100%. This is just, especially if they're aged between 16 and 24, the people doing this and watching this, then yeah, they're definitely, as you know, as they, so their adolescents, as their brain develops, they're definitely going to move on, right? They're gonna become desensitized to torturing animals, and they're gonna want to move on to humans, right? Because humans can plead and beg for their lives, and that's going to turn them on more, right? That's going to turn them on more to keep a human alive for days and torture them. Like, this is a pathology. This is a sickness. These people are fucked. You're going to have to go before you punch a wall. Yeah, no, it's so upsetting. But, I hope the Chinese, you know, I hope the Chinese, group together and have vigilantes and go after these people, because this is must be happening on the dark web, right? But I feel like the Chinese internet is like so like firewalled. I just don't see how like some Chinese hacker can't find these dickheads, and then we have like some like vigilante people just go around and fuck with these people because they need to be tortured.
This is also mixed in with the desire to harm humans.
So members in these groups may feel motivated to harm cats because they're commonly known as women's favourite animal. This comes from a place of rejection, and it sort of draws a lot of parallels with the online incel community. Activists confirm that some consumers even enjoy this content because the screams of a cat can sound like the screams of a woman. There's also a demonstrated history of ring members committing real-life violence, and it's typically against women.
Yeah.
There was a recent case in Turkey where a ring member allegedly murdered 2 young women, and another case where a member allegedly murdered 8 people in China.
Hundreds of women took to the streets of Istanbul to protest against femicide following a string of violent killings.
People can help stop the spread by not engaging with those who are spreading torture and abuse online. Don't view the videos and photos that are being shared, and do not share it yourself. It's also important to report these crimes to the social media platforms that they're being shared on. And if you know where the crime is being taken place or has taken place, to report it to the local police. Our partner organisation, Nexus, who investigate zoosadism and other crimes against children, you can send a report to them via our website, www.veekendguardians.org, where you can also find other...
Oh, I'm gonna donate money to them. Save the kitties.
On how to report.
Freaking sick fucks. I'm not logged into Discord on my computer. I can't get links from Discord anyway. I don't think today. Play a bit of Scrandle to lift the mood. Yeah, let's play Scrandle. I'll play Scrandle and then I'll play the food guesser, and I guess we'll get out of here because loaded hot dog with chips or sweet chili and lime shredded flatbread. Loaded hot dog, maybe it's got chips. Nope, wrong. Oh, Sorry, guys. Buffalo tenders and chips or chorizo hot dog? Probably the buffalo tenders and chips. Chocolate and nut covered banana or potato tornado? I would go for the potato tornado. Two slices of pizza or drunken monk burger? Drunken monk burger, I reckon. You're gonna bounce? You're sleepy? Yeah, that's fair enough. Chorizo hot dog with mustard and pesto sauce and a tropical drink. Or whatever the fuck this is. Good night, Joey. Chicken and bacon pizza or mozzarella sticks? Typically, I would go pizza, but those mozzarella sticks look good. Nope, wrong. People wanted pizza. Chicken, lamb, and vegetable samosas or a pizza slice. Oh, I like samosas. They're good. They're good. They're yummy. That pizza is so sad it is, isn't it? Let's go the samosas. They look deep fried. Yeah. Chicken tandoori pie or steak and black pudding pie. Oh, I do like black pudding. I'm gonna go for that. Thank you. I have very big sneezes. A tub of insects or a double bacon cheeseburger. Double bacon cheeseburger. Although a lot of people still wanted the insects. Chicken wrap or sausage in a waffle. Chicken wrap. Oh, 8 out of 10. Not too shabby. The insects got 35%. They did. I tried insects when I was in Thailand or Vietnam. One of those. I don't remember which one. Paneer, yogurt, ginger garlic paste, red chili powder, turmeric, garam masala, cumin, coriander, salt, oil, butter, onion, tomato puree. This feels like it's going to be a UK curry. It's like a curry, but it's like one that they eat in the UK. Paneer. No, actually, I think this might be an Indian one. Let's try India, and then we'll try the UK. Oh, it was India. Cool. Paneer tikka masala. Chicken, rice, turmeric, garlic, onion, ginger, yogurt, coriander, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, bay leaf, sugar, salt, cooking oil, fried shallots, cilantro, mint, lime wedges, and chili sauce. This dish features fragrant yellow curried rice paired with succulent tender chicken. Aromatic spices such as turmeric, cumin, and coriander infuse the rice with vibrant flavors, while the chicken is marinated and cooked to perfection. Often served with a side of spicy sauce, this flavorful and comforting meal is garnished with fried shallots and fresh cucumber slices for a delightful combination of textures and taste. The way that it's served like this is giving Southeast Asia. Like, this is a very Indonesian, Malaysian thing to do. I'm going to go with Malaysia because I feel like they called coriander and cilantro. Usually I use that as a clue. It borders Malaysia. It borders Malaysia. Oh. It borders Malaysia to the west. It's west of Malaysia. What borders Malaysia to the west? That's not Indonesia, is it? I mean, like the maritime border. Help a dum-dum out. Help a dum-dum out, guys. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours. That's actually insanity. That means I've streamed 9 hours over the weekend. Imagine if I got paid for this. Borders Malaysia. What borders Malaysia? Thinking, okay, those border Malaysia to the east. So maybe it is Indonesia. Singapore and Indonesia. Yeah. I mean, Singapore borders Malaysia to the south though, doesn't it? So it must be Indonesia. Indonesia is cool. How the flip does that work? It's not like Brunei or something, is it? Trying to think what's on the island where like Borneo. There's Brunei, there's Malaysia has territory to Singapore's south. Oh, I didn't know that. Aren't I dumb? Let's try Singapore. Singapore is warm. It could be Brunei? Well, yeah, what country is it? Brunei is warm. It borders Malaysia. Let's try Thailand. I got nothing. Thailand. It was Thailand. That did my head in. That absolutely did my head in. Flour, water, sugar, eggs, butter, lemon juice, oil for frying, a vanilla extract, rose water, honey, baking powder optional. This dish is a delightful dessert made from deep-fried dough soaked in sweet syrup. The dough is piped into small oblong shapes before being fried to golden perfection, achieving a crispy exterior and soft interior. Once cooked, the treats are drenched in a sweet, fragrant syrup, soaking up the flavor to become irresistibly juicy and tender. Flour, water, sugar, eggs, butter, lemon juice, vanilla extract, rose water, honey. This looks Middle Eastern. This looks very Middle Eastern. Or Turkish. I'm gonna go for Turkey. Yep. Oh, we're still a gastronomical genius, even though we fucked up the Thai one. Well, guys, I think I might call the stream. Sorry to Saboteur. I can't see the video that you posted because I'm not actually logged into my Discord. So I'll have to sort that out. But if you come next stream, I'll definitely watch the video that you recommended. So we will sort it out. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Bye.